victory at home over a good team in a fashion in which you pulled away, frustrated them, and you did it a little bit differently than you normally do. You've won 4 in a row. You're 5-1 in league. You're 14-3 overall and getting better every time out. That's Lobo basketball after an 87-64 win last night at home in the pit over a Grand Canyon team who would come in winning 2 in a row, had not yet lost on the road in conference play, and you handle them by pulling away, outscoring them 49-31 in the second half. I'm going to give you the similarities. I'm going to give you the differences and why I think last night was so impressive. Can't wait to hear from you this morning on the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610, The Sports Animal. Thanks for finding us this morning, as you always do. Jeff Symbieta along with JJ Buck. Gato Roberto is producing this morning as JJ is in America's finest city. Good morning, y'all. How y'all living?
Good morning.
How's the beautiful America's finest city as the sun gets ready to come up in California?
It's going to get popping here very shortly.
Day basketball, Lady Lobos will be in Viejas against the undefeated Aztecs for undefeated league play. A big one for the ladies today. You'll hear it. JJ will have the call. What is it, 11:30 pregame noon tip here on The Sports Animal, correct, for Viejas?
That is correct.
All right. I'm going to assume you caught Lobo men last night, an impressive 87-64 win. I got a bunch of notes on this, and I talked to Eric Olin after the game, and I don't know, Bob, if we've got access to the post-game show from last night over on News Radio KKB that we can pull a couple of sound bites. But, JJ, there's a couple of things that were impressive to me about this. They did a couple of things that they do on a regular basis. They spread the scoring out. 5 guys in double figures and 1 scored 9. Another 20-plus point game for Jake Hall, the fabulous freshman who's now got 6 of them. He's got consecutive back-to-back games twice now. It's been done 3 times in Lobo history by a freshman, twice by Jake Hall, once by Kenny Thomas. Pretty good. And they, for the 7th game in a row, they held their opponent under 70 points. But, JJ, what they did a little bit different this time is they didn't fire threes all night long. When you look at their season average, and more than half of their shots tend to be three-point shots. Last night, that was not the case. In fact, of their 55 field goal attempts, only 16 of them were three-point shots. They made half of those. And they did it without a huge night from Tomislav Buljan, who was in foul trouble and frustrated with 5 points and 4 rebounds. And I talked to him after the game. JJ, you'll love this. After we were done with the postgame show, he was out there shooting free throws with a manager because he wasn't happy that at the free throw line he went 1 for 3. And I talked to him, and he says, yeah, I was frustrated, but you just got to play through it. And I just went over and talked to him, off the air. And A, because I love that he was out there shooting free throws after everybody else was out of the gym. And B, wanted to hear what he said. And he said, yeah, just frustrated, but you got to play through it. I'm going to be okay. I know you.
Yeah, and that's 2 of the last 3 games we've seen, Buljan not have a huge game like you would expect. Same thing happened against Colorado State where he got some early foul trouble. JT Rock stepped up, and you're seeing the development of JT Rock, but how the offense can still function, and especially the defense is still very good, whether it's Tomislav Buljan or JT Rock playing at the 5. And we've seen interchangeable pieces throughout the season and just continuing to embrace the roles, and they're just bought in and locked in. And that was evident last night watching the game and the frustration that kept mounting for Grand Canyon, and it was because of the way that the Lobos were playing on both ends of the floor.
Yeah, I think what they're doing defensively is something that travels night in and night out, whether they're shooting well or not. Grand Canyon on the night shot just 33%, 28.6 in the second half. When I thought, and I said this on the air last night, I thought they got flustered. I thought the pit got to Grand Canyon. And they play in an environment at their place that is pretty impressive. And, I mean, everybody knows about their gym, and the Lobos are going to have to go down there next month and play in Phoenix. And it's the environment that you want. I don't know if it was the environment or the Lobos that got to them, or maybe it was just the officials. And Bryce Drew, their head coach, stepped out onto the floor and knew he was getting thrown out. The second he walked onto the floor and got his 2 technicals and put his hands to his mouth and said, blow your whistle, screaming at the officials across the on the other side of the floor. He flat out was frustrated. He knew he was on his way out. In fact, the Lobos got whistled for 22 fouls on the night, and Grand Canyon only 16. I didn't think the whistle was incredibly slanted. The Lobos maybe had the favor of the whistle in the first half, and Bryce Drew was unhappy. It was physical. I thought this was a physical, good, at least for the first half and a half, if that makes sense, Mountain West Conference competitive basketball game until the Lobos pulled away and blew them out of the building.
It was, and watching it, I didn't get the sense that it was necessarily slandered one way or the other. I think the Lobos, you credit their defense, and that really frustrated Grand Canyon, especially early in the contest when both teams kind of were struggling. But it was one in which I think there were times like Grand Canyon was shooting around like 30%, and they were. I credit Grand Canyon, man, watching them make tough shots against the Lobos and how it was close. But that moment you were talking about where Bryce Drew comes out on the floor and he's like, blow your whistle, gets thrown out. Lobos exploded after that. So he could tell that that was kind of a tipping point for his team to go one way or the other. And it just happened that they were found themselves on the bottom of the seesaw while the Lobos took off.
That was one of those where he was either going to fire his team up or it was going the other way. And he felt, I talked to Bryce after the game, that that's not a guy who loses his cool like that, right? That's not a guy who you typically see get super crazy emotional. I was talking to Philip McDonald, with whom I did the game last night on KKOB and the Global UNM Sports Network. And it's one of those, sometimes, the coach just wants to fire up his team because I don't think at that point the game was out of hand. I think it was 11 points. Jake Hall made 3 of the 4 free throws to make it 14. Lobos got the ball. I think they scored to up it to 16 or 17 on that possession. And that's where it got away from them right then. I didn't think it was already out of control at that.
No, it wasn't. And it was, that's just from my standpoint, it felt like a tipping point. Obviously, Bryce Drew kind of wanted to do something dramatic at that point in time, and getting thrown out of the game it's a big move when you're a head coach. And then we just saw, man, the Lobos explode. There was the offense, the way the defense picked up, a couple dunks in there, and just a night where you see them bought in, locked in, and it's going to be really hard to beat the Lobos in that building when they're playing like that.
Lobos win last night. Final score was 87-64. They have now won 4 games in a row. They are 5-1 in conference play, 14-3 overall, and headed to San Diego on Saturday to take on an Aztec team who has yet to lose in conference play. San Diego State will be in Laramie tonight playing against the Cowboys. That'll be whichever network you find. I'll get it for you. I'll get you the exact network. But that's a big one coming up. I asked Eric Olin after the game, JJ, about going back to San Diego, and I know it's not UC San Diego, but you got people there, but more so for guys like Jake Hall, Luke Hopt. It looks like Chris Howell's still not going to play. He's now missed 6 games with the oblique. And he said, it's not just we get up for every game, not just we get up for this game because that's a really good team on the other side. But I got to believe for Jake Hall going back to San Diego, he grew up in North County in Carlsbad. And for Luke Hopt, who's from San Diego and played at Point Loma Nazarene, the way this team's playing, there's a little extra something, right? Going back to America's finest city on Saturday, and plus, you're playing the big bad bully in your league.
Yeah, and who knows when you're going to be back in this building? Right. It's kind of the same feeling today of the game we have with the women, and it's magnified given the fact that this is the only matchup for the women against San Diego State, so it just adds a little bit more to these matchups this season.
No, you'll get them you always do. You're going to get them in the Mountain West Conference. You'll get them in the first round of the Mountain West. Isn't that how that plays out every year?
I don't know. We'll see, man. They're
in the tournament?
Rolling right now.
Well, that'll mean that if you both get a bye, then you'll be 4 versus 1 or 3 versus 2, right? Every year, isn't that who you get in the first round?
The last 3 years.
It seems to be that way, doesn't it? All right, so want your thoughts on a little basketball. All right, Bob, you think Stan will be satisfied? Yesterday's first-round caller, the guy who was a little upset? JJ, you missed out on the fun yesterday. Look at
I don't
JJ's
think
face.
Stan would ever be satisfied.
Stan's not satisfied. That's all. It was all Lobo basketball in the first segment. You don't think he's going to be okay with that? JJ, you missed yesterday. Oh, we had a caller. We opened up yesterday. What would you have opened up with on a Tuesday morning after what happened on Monday night? How would you have opened the show yesterday?
talking about, is this the end for the Steelers and how dangerous the Texans can be with that defense?
Even in Lobo Nation, even with the Dave, you didn't want a 3-hour scout on Grand Canyon men's basketball. That's not what you wanted.
Oh, it would have been on the rundown, but probably not the open.
Yeah, no, that's kind of where we went. And guy he was in the Burger King parking lot. Is what he told us, right, Bob?
Thought it was McDonald's.
It was Burger King. He said Burger King parking lot.
I remember the hockey.
Yeah, he was eating his hockey puck.
Yeah.
And
Stan, by the way, we love you.
Yeah, no
keep
doubt.
listening. Keep
No
calling
doubt, it
in.
was good content yesterday.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he didn't like that. We didn't talk enough Lobo basketball.
In the first segment.
Yeah. What was his other gripe? It was kind of like a little backhanded kind of gripe. I forgot what the other one was.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah. All right. But we're here for you on Lobo basketball today, man. 87-64. There's plenty of NFL to get through. The Tomlin stuff yesterday. I mean, look, as we talked about it a lot yesterday morning, and then by mid-afternoon, Mike Tomlin had informed the Steelers that he was going to dip, and he was out. And so where do the Steelers go? I think we know what happens with Tomlin in the immediate. I think we're relatively certain that he's going to sit out a year, and there's a number of reasons. We'll get into why I think it's pretty certain that Mike Tomlin's going to sit out a year. But where do the Steelers go? And we know their track record. They've made 3 hires in the last 57 years. They do pretty well with it. But where and who will they go to? So, Steeler fan, want your thoughts also, because I know there's so many of you who really, really wanted a coaching change. Well, you're really, really going to get one. Now, how do you feel? Where are you going to go with that? 505-246-0610 is how to get in today and play radio with us. Area code 505-246-0610. Emails come in this morning, as they always do. Jeff at sportsanimалabq.com. JJ at sportsanimалabq.com. We are on the X. It's _JJ Buck. On the Facebook, the OD in the AM. Adrian is producing this morning on television. You can watch us on Xfinity Channel 26 throughout the state of New Mexico. On our Facebook page, the OD in the AM. And on the YouTube channel for ProView Networks. When we get back, I want to get a little more into the Lobos last night, the scoring, the opportunities, and who's taking advantage of the minutes that have come their way, and why it is making this team better and deeper as we are now halfway through the season. We'll do that when we get back. Hey, fellas, how you feeling? Starting the new year, got some ambitions, want to feel like you again? Vita Vital Medical here in Albuquerque is going to help you do that. If you're feeling tired or gaining some weight, maybe you're losing some muscle or struggling to focus, just don't feel like you. All of these could be signs of low testosterone or hormone imbalance. Vita Vital Medical is here to help. They're Albuquerque's experts specializing in testosterone replacement therapy, ED solutions, and peptide therapy. They will help you restore your strength, your energy, your confidence, and your performance on and off the field. They are right here in Albuquerque. They are local, and they know what works. They help you get back in the game with a program focused on you. What they do is take the time to understand you and your goals. You go in, you sit down, you speak with them in a very comfortable environment. They understand what's going on with your body. How do you feel? What's going on? What do you want? What are your goals? And then they create a plan that's tailored to you. Don't sit on the sidelines anymore. Take action today and feel better now. Here's the phone number. It's local at 505-240-8559. That's area code 505-240-8559. You can go online and visit them at VitaVitalMedical.com. That's V-I-D as in David, A, V-I-T as in Thomas, A-L. VitaVitalMedical.com, and get back to being the man you know you are. Feel alive again with Vita Vital Medical, Albuquerque's hormone health experts.
This report is sponsored by Capital One. What's in your wallet? Capital One offers no.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
7 days a week to assist.
Burrito Express is proud to announce that we are the official burrito spot of ProView Networks. Since 1982, with 6 locations serving Albuquerque, Rio Rancho, and Roswell, the question is, red or green? Let's go to the burrito. Visit letsgototheburrito.com and order now.
by DiLorenzo, Lomas, and Pennsylvania.
Need a new vehicle? Get more for your money.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walking to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot. It's the Frontier Restaurant.
Check our specials at AmericanHome.com.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
Radio KKOB Traffic Center.
Oh, could this vintage store be any
International
cuter,
Protective
right?
Services
And
is
the
a
best part?
proud
It's
supporter
so
of ProView Sports and
Just
New Mexico
in
Youth
a little
Athletics.
place like this? I don't think so, Jennifer. Oh,
IPS
yeah.
provides
Just
residential
where I
and
like
commercial
to shop.
security services
Baby,
in the
give me
Albuquerque
time.
metro area.
Right. So we shouldn't
For
have
more
our
info,
shopping.
please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
Across the state of New Mexico, different journeys will begin. And when their journeys unite, together will become one experience. Our campuses across New Mexico in Portales, Roswell, and Ruidoso come together to provide you the support as one family. We are one family that share one goal, one opportunity at a time. We are one Eastern.
Join Mark Patrick Hypnosis. Lose the weight or stop smoking. Guaranteed only $59.99. Saturday, January 17th. At the
We would
Courtyard
like to
by
thank the
Marriott.
following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Sign up at markpatrickseminars.com.
From the Sandia foothills to the banks of the Rio Grande, generations of families remain. For 5 generations, Gallus Chevrolet has handed down values written in stone, leading the way under sun-filled skies, past the vintage glow of Route 66. Built by generations past, built for generations to come. This is New Mexico. This is Gallus.
We've been trained, conditioned, and rewarded for doing more. But people weren't designed for all that doing. Our bodies need to settle into nothing from time to time. Into nothing at all. In a world obsessed with doing more, we invite you to undo.
I'm a Blaze King customer, and I have been for the last 10 years. Blaze King stoves are very efficient, they're easy to maintain, and they use a lot less wood than you would typically use with a fireplace.
Blaze King, that's a fire.
The heat is on when it's a Blaze King wood stove, controlling heat up to 40 hours on a single load of wood with a built-in thermostat. See for yourself at either Blaze King showroom, Albuquerque and Santa Fe. Blaze King, and now that's a fire.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast
22
possible.
points last night. Lobos beat Grand Canyon 87-64. That was my call over on News Radio KKOB and along the UNM Sports Radio Network. JJ, we talk so much about what Jake Hall's doing as a freshman and the fabulous season that he's having. And I don't know. I got to believe not only is he up for Freshman of the Year, but he's got to be a candidate right now, a quarter of the way through the season, for first-team all-conference. And another 20-plus game last night, 22. And so much is talked about his three-point game. JJ, I think his basketball IQ is terrific. I think his total game is good. Eric Olin made a point on the post-game show last night to talk about how much better his defense has gotten, which I fully agree with. But his mid-range game and his creativity is really, really good. He gets to the free throw line 7 times last night. Now, granted, 4 of them were on the technical, so that it was really only 3. But he gets guys up in the air. He draws the contact. He's able to hit the mid-range. He's able to create. It's not just a catch-and-shoot guy that maybe you thought that that's what he was when you watched the first few games of him.
Yeah, crafty mid-range scorer is so dangerous and fun to watch. It's
I like that.
a forgotten part of the game with the way everyone just wants to score at the rim or shoot the three. But if you are able to hit a mid-range shot, you can be really dangerous. And he is physical enough. You see that a lot of times when he's able to hold his ground, do that little fadeaway, get to the elbow, get on the baseline, and Jay Call is just a scorer, a 3-level scorer, and that's why you score over 1,000 points in high school, and you see him be able to have the scoring performances he's had this season. You mentioned his basketball IQ. He had some nice passes. I think he had a great assist on one of the JT Rock dunks underneath, and there's a reason that not just Jay Call, Uriah Tenet are getting a ton of playing time. They're talented, but they understand the game, and that's the biggest thing. Is you just still have to know what the heck is going on to get on the floor at the Division I level, and these guys understand that.
I agree with you on that, and the way they're moving the ball, the interior passing. I went into the break talking about two guys or guys who were taking advantage of minutes, maybe minutes that weren't going to be there a month and a half ago. And watching them just change their game. And I don't know that I think Luke Hop is getting better, but the contributions, well, I do think he's getting better, but the contributions are, I think, quite significant. And he's been inserted into the starting lineup with Chris Howell being out. This is the sixth game in a row that he's been in the starting lineup. He's averaging, going into last night, was I think it was 7.8 points a game in the starting lineup. Now he scored 11 last night. Just got a text that said, was talking about him. It says, Hop doesn't make mistakes out there. His hoops IQ is off the charts. Remember in the offseason when we were looking at this roster, because we just didn't know. We just didn't know. Dude, everything was brand new. And there were a couple of guys that we looked at, and Luke Hop was one of those guys that said, I want to see what a guy that scored and played like that at Point Loma Nazareth, that played at that level and had so much success. I want to see how he plays at this level. Because I think a dude can play, a dude can play. Now, granted, competition gets tougher as you move up in classification. He doesn't surprise me. He feels to me like a guy who could score a whole lot more. And about a month and a half ago, when I was doing games, I was like, I want him to shoot more. I want him to finish. And I think he's become a little bit more aggressive scoring the basketball as he feels his way through. I'm just such a big fan of his game because I think he's complete. Defensively, he's really solid. He gets big rebounds. He plays you big minutes. He'll go out and guard someone. He'll hit a shot. That's a guy, him and what JT Rock's development has become, and we talked to Eric Olin about it after the game last night, taking advantage of opportunities when Bouillon's in foul trouble. The increased minutes for those two young men from a month and a half ago, I really think is contributing to the growth of this team.
There's no doubt that Luke Hop is playing different basketball without Chris Howell. I think Luke probably would have been fine, but if Chris Howell's still in the lineup, I don't think he's able to expand his game this much because he's just playing the backup minutes behind Howell, which they're so similar. I think that Hop is a better scorer than Chris Howell, and you're seeing that. But in terms of the rebounding, assists, you get those both from those guys. But stepping up 11 points, the 3 of 5 from the field. Again, it just goes to kind of how it's almost like there's a backup at every position, and they're just able to kind of slide in and keep it going. The rotation, it was tight last night, but you played 8 dudes, a ton of minutes, and even when the game was in control, it really felt like Eric Olin was wanting to make sure that this was a double-digit 20-plus point victory, closing that one out, where you saw the minutes for everyone and the performances, but the double-figure scoring, Luke Hop, being able to build his confidence. Where I don't think I'm sure he would have had moments, but this time with Chris Howell being out has absolutely, I think, allowed him to expand his offensive game and just get the confidence with those extended minutes.
87-64 was the score last night. Lobos over Grand Canyon as they improved to 5-1 in conference play, 14-3 overall, headed to San Diego on Saturday. And then we sit here, we just, I don't want to take it for granted what Uriah Tenet's doing. And I thought there was a really big moment to me, and you tell me if I'm overplaying this. Right before halftime, it was 36-30. I'm sorry, 35-33. Grand Canyon scored with about 4.5 seconds to go, and to cut a lead that had been as big as 8 down to 2 points. And Eric Olin called a timeout. He had his use it or lose it timeout, and he called the timeout and drew up a play. And I don't know that it was an incredibly creative play, but they got the ball to Uriah Tenet, and he took about 4 dribbles and stepped just inside the logo, and from about 35 feet, Tannett hits a three-pointer at the buzzer to give you a 5-point lead going into the break. And I thought it was significant on a number of levels. I love the trust, the minutes that freshman is getting. His game is spectacular. His mid-range game is getting better, Uriah Tannett. The launch that he has off of the ground, the leaps to create himself a shot. But the significance of going in up 5 and hitting a 3 at the buzzer as opposed to having an 8-point lead carved down to 2 and walking up that ramp only up by 2, I thought was quite significant going into the break. And then watching Tannett again, 7th game in a row that he's been in double-digit scoring. He had 14 points last night, 4 rebounds, and you got a freshman guard coming off the bench playing 24-plus minutes. I just watching the development of him, somebody said to me last night, I hope we can keep him all. Look, man, live in the moment, because I don't know who you're keeping and who you're not, and I don't know who's going to be here and who's not. Live in the moment and enjoy this team, and I love watching that freshman, like the 3 freshmen that you talk about, Bouillon, who's 23, and then Tannett and Hall. But the development of Tannett coming off the bench, he's as key to this as anybody else.
Of course, his ball handling, his scoring just come down and bang it right before the half. It was absolutely huge. You get that extra jolt of momentum, make it a 2-possession game, going up the ramp, which is always important in that building to have that lead at the half, and just the talent that was acquired by Coach Owen, but then the development, because you look at, Jake Hall, Uriah Tannett, true freshman being out there, but even someone like JT Rock, he's been at the Division I level, but he hasn't played a lot of basketball, and then you see him on the floor, and you're like, goodness, each time out, he continues to get better and better, and it's really impressive the way that they were able to mix this roster with the experience at multiple levels, plus guys coming in and handed big roles right away.
I remember with Bob with the other gripe that our caller had yesterday at the beginning. Jay, do you remember Monday when we were talking about 3 freshmen scoring in double figures, and New Mexico is the only team in America out of 365 basketball teams. New Mexico is the only Division I basketball team who's got 3 freshmen scoring in double figures. Remember, I said, Bouillon's not your traditional freshman. He's 23 years old, played professionally in Croatia, but he is. And he took offense to that, and I'm like, man, I didn't say they're doing anything wrong. They're playing within the rules, but I took a little offense to that. Okay? He's not a traditional freshman, right?
He's not. He's not.
And by the way, Grand Canyon's got one.
Yeah, Grand Canyon, and then I'd feel the same way about that dude. Like, okay, you're a freshman by title, but not by experience.
Yeah. F.A. Demerol is 21 years old. He played in Turkey's top professional league, and he's now at Grand Canyon, and he's a freshman, and it's well within the rule. Now, if you don't like the rule, or that's a whole other conversation. But I think it was Grammer who sent in, there's a difference between a guy who was sitting last year in a cafeteria eating lunch with 14-year-olds as an 18-year-old freshman now, and a guy who's 23-year-old that was playing overseas with grown-ass men who are bouncers and have children. Right? It's the difference. There's nothing against it. And by the way, I love the way Tomislav Bouillon plays. And I love that he takes nothing for granted. I love that he was out there after the game when nobody else was in the gym and shooting free throws because he went 1 for 3 last night and was working on his game. But that was, Bob, that was the other thing that gentleman was not happy with.
Right.
By saying he's not a traditional, I was talking to Bill McDonald about that yesterday. I mean, he's like, you're 100% right. All right, you want to go to the phones when we get back? 505-246-0610. Let's take your phone calls. I was talking to Joe, the security officer downstairs. He said, well, the phones will ring today, right? Big Lobo win. I said, well, phones ring more when they lose. That's for certain. People like to complain way more than they like to enjoy. But we're here for you on a Lobo victory, 87-64. If you want to get into the NFL, Steeler fan, love to hear your thoughts on Mike Tomlin stepping down after 18 years or 19 years as the head coach of the Pittsburgh Steelers. We can get into all of that. 505-246-0610 is the number. 888-922-0610. For whatever reason, you know anybody who's still paying tolls? Anybody still doing it? I don't know. All right. Hey, let's take the break. It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 630 Sports Network.
Way Financial Services and Insurance.
Your future deserves more than just numbers.
High school sports are back. You can watch every ProView Network broadcast online on the NFHS network. Every moment from every game from every sport, including all NMAA state championship games. Get your monthly pass now. Just go to ProViewNetworks.com, click on the NFHS logo, and sign up today. Watch New Mexico's best. We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
We've been trained, conditioned, and rewarded for doing more. But people weren't designed for all that doing. Our bodies need to settle into nothing from time to time. Into nothing at all. In a world obsessed with doing more, we invite you to undo.
Across the state of New Mexico, different journeys will begin. And when their journeys unite, together will become one experience. Our campuses across New Mexico in Portales, Roswell, and Ruidoso come together to provide you the support as one family. We are one family that share one goal, one opportunity at a time. We are One Eastern.
Burrito Express is proud to announce that we're the official burrito spot of ProView Networks. Since 1982, with 6 locations serving Albuquerque, Rio Rancho, and Roswell, the question is, red or green? Let's go to the burrito. Visit letsgototheburrito.com and order now.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Eagle Greens and Turf are a family-owned and operated business with over 25 years of experience in the home improvement industry. They are your exclusive dealer of celebrity green, synthetic putting greens, and artificial turf. They also have artificial turf that is specifically designed for your pets. Eagle Greens and Turf are proud sponsors of ProView Networks and can make your lawn green all year long at 505-273-2744.
Anxiety or weight gain? Listen, I don't know how it works, but I know it works because I'm living proof.
From the Sandia foothills to the banks of the Rio Grande, generations of families remain. For 5 generations, Gallus Chevrolet has handed down values written in stone, leading the way under sun-filled skies, past the vintage glow of Route 66. Built by generations past, built for generations to come. This is New Mexico. This is Gallus.
Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, red and green chili breakfast burritos, and frontier sweet rolls. 4 great locations, or visit us online at Golden Pride ABQ.
Back to the basket, leaning in, Hall spins, fade away, splashes another mid-range fadeaway 2-pointer, and it's 42-40. Hall's got 14.
Man, that play reminded me of Carmelo Anthony. I thought I was watching him for a moment.
That was me and Philip McDonald yesterday on the local UNM Sports Radio Network. Another Jake Hall mid-range fadeaway. He had 22. Good to work with old Philly. Phil McDonald is Daniel Ferris told me I was supposed to call him Philly Cheesesteak, and Phil said, no, he's the only one who calls me Philly Cheesesteak. Don't call me that. So it was good to work with Phil McDonald. Hey, how's your yards looking? Front yard, backyard? I love mine. That's because LaBarge Landscape came by and took care of that for me. You got friends whose yards are immaculate? You want a yard that looks like theirs? You can have it. Whether it's water features, pavers, maybe a putting green. But you want that landscape, and you're thinking, well, it's winter. I'm going to wait till spring. Don't do that, because everybody's waiting till spring, and that means you're going to get on a list. And by the time you get the project done, half of next summer is going to be gone. Call LaBarge Landscape and have it done today, so when spring arrives, you don't have to wait. You know what you want? LaBarge is going to make it happen for you. Not sure what you want, you just know you want to redesign and have it redone, LaBarge will send a landscape design team out there and create options for you so you and your family are going to get that landscape of your dreams. You're going to enjoy it for years and years and years. Remember, the people who get to enjoy that new landscape in the spring, those are the people who call LaBarge Landscape now. And if you're just looking for a leaf cleanup or pruning of shrubs, just kind of this time of year cleanup, LaBarge does that as well. I love what they did at my house. You're going to love what they do at yours. LaBarge Landscape, online at LABARGE, LaBargeLandscape.net. And call them at 505-345-3000. That's 505-345-3000. Whether your project is small or large, the answer is easy. It's LaBarge Landscape. 505-246-0610. We've talked all Lobos this morning after a big 87-64 victory. Hello, Stan. How you feeling?
Good morning, Jeff. Good call last night.
Thank you.
Philip McDonald sounds good.
Yeah, he was good to work with. That was the first time he'd done that. He was excited to do it. It was enjoyable.
Really nice, really nice. Hi. I called in to kind of like just straighten out. It got a little crazy on my call yesterday, and I just wanted to iron out a few points.
Yeah.
And one was, the first point was, I didn't want you to spend 3 hours, first of all, on the Lobos. I wanted you to acknowledge them. I knew the Squealer game was important because of Tomlin and the old man
Rodgers.
The Steeler game. Yeah, Rodgers, right. I'm sorry. And I knew that was important. I knew you had to start off the segment with that. That's acknowledgeable. But you kind of just injected, and the Lobos have a game. We'll talk about that later on tonight. Lobos had a huge game.
Okay.
Huge. And had it not been for the GCU caller who told us about the 2 7-footers, Big Lindsey, and guys we should watch for, that guy with a shown goal, man, he was really good. But he enlightened us. I don't believe you would have done that.
Okay.
You know, during your show yesterday.
Yeah, you're wrong, but okay. Okay.
Okay, I might be wrong.
You're
wrong. And maybe I am. Second, I hope you apologize to Bougion last night for wanting to put an asterisk next to his name as being a freshman.
Never said I want to put an asterisk.
That's why I took offense, because on your Monday call, you said, should we put an asterisk next to his name because he's 23 years old? That's when I took offense.
Got it.
And in Lobo Nation, we cover each other, baby.
All right, Stan. Appreciate you. Thanks for the call, man. All right.
Bye.
JJ, did I say put an asterisk next to his name? I said he's not a traditional freshman, right? I did. By the way, for the record, I did not apologize to him for that. We had a good conversation, and I think he and I are good after the game last night. But no, did I say put an asterisk next to his name?
There's nothing wrong with that to me, man.
I believe he's not a traditional.
Years from now, we look at the record book. No one's going to think about it.
That's true.
But in the moment, to acknowledge what's happening is fair, and it's not to discredit his game. It's because, you know what, we should have higher expectations for a dude like that coming in from overseas to play this way right away versus a true freshman right out of high school. There's an absolute difference in expectations and performance on the floor. Yeah, the only thing that's the same is the title between Jake Hall and Uriah Tenet versus Thomas Elboyan. But there's an absolutely different level of expectation and play from a dude that's played professional basketball overseas.
You know, I got to go back and look at my ballot. I honestly don't remember who I voted for when it came to JJ Newcomer of the Year. I had one of the preseason ballots. And I should go back and look at it because I might have put Tomislav Buljan on there as my vote for Newcomer of the Year. Now, I don't know who's going to win Newcomer of the Year, and he's probably not because he's, off to a slower start statistically in league play. And I don't know who the Newcomer of the Year is going to be. Go look through the league. I think 4, 5, 6 games in, and there's going to be Utah State's got their options. I think there's a real opportunity, and I don't say this with any disdain. As we're 6 games in right now, I can see a world in which Lobos finish in the top 2 in the league and struggle to get one guy on the first team all-conference team. which
That's
I don't think is a horrible thing, because I think with their balanced scoring and what they look like every night. I mean, do they have a superstar right now? You know, who is their star? Would you say it's Jake Hall? Would you say
I don't know. Is this one where it's like a 10-person all-conference, or do they do?
That's a really good question.
I don't
preseason was 10-person all.
Yeah, because if that's the case, they'll have
if it's 10,
a couple all-conference guys for sure. Because I know they've kind of switched to that.
That's a good point.
Other areas where you try to have a 10-person all-conference team, which they'll get some versus the traditional 5. But if you want to be mad about Tomislav Buljan and however you talk about his game, okay, he's playing to a level that you expect. And for the Lobos, they've had 2 of the last 3 games. It was Colorado State last night where he got in early foul trouble, and they were still good inside, and that's a credit to the development. And these guys, if they're putting in extra work after the game, you love to see it, and it's that professional mindset that Buljan brings to the table. But all these guys have now at playing college basketball, and I definitely got a kick out of the fact that you were calling the game, you were prepared, and you were not going to talk about what Grand Canyon brought to the table. Like, that was not on the chart in front of you. That you wouldn't have addressed that at all.
You know how I prepare, right? You see me every day. You know how I prepare. And he called after the first segment,
dude,
and was complaining that I wasn't going to go through Lobo basketball, coming off of the huge game on Monday night. And look, I'm not going to apologize to Stan or anybody else on how we do the radio show. What we do every day is we come in here and we talk about the big story from yesterday, and we recap that before we look ahead to tomorrow or today or whatever.
It might not always align with your timing. It's understandable. There's drive time. There's to work, dropping your kids off at school. And if it don't hit what you like in that moment, sorry about that, but that's why we also do have a podcast. You can listen back and or pull up the stream on ProView and watch the show.
Yeah, I think you know how I prepare. I mean, you see my charts. You see, I know how you prepare. I watch how you are. You know what these look like. You see the notes on here. I wasn't going to get into what Grand Canyon was and what Efik Demerol brings to the game and what Nana Owusu Anane brings to the game, and the fact that Jaden Henley was the 4th leading scorer and it was his 4th school that he's. I mean, come on. I wasn't going to go there, but it just wasn't timely enough for Stan, and so he wants me to apologize. So, all right, JT. Good morning. You're on the Sports Animal. What's up, JT?
Just happy as ever. I didn't think we could dominate this team. That's a great team, Jeff. I don't know how we pulled away like that. Maybe they lost their coach, and when you lose your coach, you go one way or another. But man, those guys can score. They're tall. They're going to be a problem. But I love the way we're developing. Every time out, it seems like we're getting better. I love the way we play defense and switch off. I think we're getting better every time out, and that's a sign of a good team. But this message is for Stan. Do me a favor, Stan. In the words of Jim Rome, okay? Have a take and do not suck, man. You're starting to suck, and you're nauseating, bro. You're complaining too much. Lobo fanatic. I've been a Lobo fanatic for almost 60 years. 6-0.
6-0.
Okay?
70.
I don't care if he's a 36-year-old freshman. He's a god. You know what? He's a freshman. It's his first year in college.
I guess that's right.
What is that team in Pittsburgh? They had a 58-year-old lineman. He's a freshman.
Well, here's my one question, JT, and I had this conversation with someone yesterday. So to me, a freshman means you got 3 more years after this to play, and Buljan's been granted 1 year by the NCAA. Now, I guess he could go back, right? He's going to have to reapply. But I want to see where it goes and how many years of eligibility he actually gets. But to your point, when you're playing your first year of college basketball, you are a freshman. Yes, 23 years old or 18 years old. Yes.
Come on, man. Come in, talk about whatever you want to talk about. That's why we have this platform.
That's right.
And get off and get on with your life. I mean, it's nauseating, bro. You complain too much. Yeah, okay, I got to go. I'm going to lose you.
Yeah. All right. Appreciate JT out on the road. Buljan, 5 points, 4 rebounds last night with the 4 fouls. He was in foul trouble. And obviously, frustrated. He went into the game as the leading rebounder in the Mountain West in overall games, averaging almost 10 rebounds, tick under 10, 9.86 rebounds per game. Next behind him was the guy who played against last night, Nana Owusu-Anane for Grand Canyon, and Owusu-Anane last night also had 4 rebounds and 3-point. He had 3 and 4. So the big guys, you know, JJ, I mean, as much as I could have talked about it with Stan yesterday about, you know, the matchup between Owusu-Anane and Bullion last night, it didn't materialize. One guy had 5 and 4, the other one had 3 and 4.
Especially, yeah, Owusu-Anane, 1 of 10 from the field, settled for 6 3-point shots as well, where he was 1 of 6 guards.
I will tell
Big-time
you,
guard play.
You know who's a problem, and you can see it if he gets hot. And I've watched, you know, we've watched guys come through this year, and whether it was Riverside or whomever it was, Alabama State guys, you can see where Jaden Henley can just get hot. He's just a scorer, and he can create his own shot. You can see where he could be a problem. He's the 4th leading scorer in this league.
Oh, yeah, and drawing the fouls, I know was a big topic, him versus Aubrey, in terms of the contact that they create to get to the free throw line. And he was a challenge last night, but then you look down, and, yeah, you know, he got to the line 6 times, took 11 shots overall, scored 17 points, and still didn't impact the game.
All right, 505-246-0610. We must break. Emails Jeff at sportsanimalabq.com and JJ at sportsanimalabq.com. More of your content. I got a bunch of emails coming in and texts on the game last night. We'll get into some NFL as you would like. It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
Sponsored by Capital One. What's in your wallet? Capital One offers no fees.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
7 days a week to assist.
We've been trained, conditioned, and rewarded for doing more. But people weren't designed for all that doing. Our bodies need to settle into nothing from time to time. Into nothing at all. In a world obsessed with doing more, we invite you to undo.
Across the state of New Mexico, different journeys will begin. And when their journeys unite, together will become one experience. Our campuses across New Mexico in Portales, Roswell, and Ruidoso come together to provide you the support as one family. We are one family that share one goal, one opportunity at a time. We are One Eastern.
Burrito Express is proud to announce that we are the official burrito spot of ProView Networks. Since 1982, with 6 locations serving Albuquerque, Rio Rancho, and Roswell, the question is, red or green? Let's go to the burrito. Visit letsgototheburrito.com and order now.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Eagle Greens and Turf are a family-owned and operated business with over 25 years of experience in the home improvement industry. They are your exclusive dealer of celebrity green, synthetic putting greens, and artificial turf. They also have artificial turf that is specifically designed for your pets. Eagle Greens and Turf are proud sponsors of ProView Networks and can make your lawn green all year long at 505-273-2744.
Income restrictions requires a minimum FICO of 620, and you don't have to be a first-time home buyer.
From the Sandia foothills to the banks of the Rio Grande, generations of families remain. For 5 generations, Gallus Chevrolet has handed down values written in stone, leading the way under sun-filled skies, past the vintage glow of Route 66. Built by generations past, built for generations to come. This is New Mexico. This is Gallus.
Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, red and green chili breakfast burritos, and frontier sweet rolls. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenprideabq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
From the Sandia foothills to the banks of the Rio Grande, generations of families remain. For 5 generations, Gallus Chevrolet has handed down values written in stone, leading the way under sun-filled skies, past the vintage glow of Route 66. Built by generations past, built for generations to come. This is New Mexico. This is Gallus.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com. TurboThreads is a proud sponsor of ProView Networks.
Almost 30 years of experience means fast service, great prices, and a wide selection of apparel from t-shirts to performance sport shirts, even jackets and hats. They feature low minimums and no setup charges on most orders. TurboThreads is located at 1503 Golf Course Road in Rio Rancho, or find them on Facebook, online at turbothreads.com, or call 999-1234 for TurboThreads.
We've been trained, conditioned, and rewarded for doing more. But people weren't designed for all that doing.
1 and 2 milligrams.
Our bodies need to settle into nothing from time to time. Into nothing at all. In a world obsessed with doing more, we invite you to undo.
Owasso Anane down the lane, lays it up and missed it. Rock fights for the rebound and ends up in the hands of Hop for New Mexico. Hop to the front court, Hop down the lane, Hop lays it up. It's goaltending. It will count as a bucket, as coming in from nowhere was Devereaux to knock it off the rim. It is a 5-point Lobo lead. It was a call last night over on the UNM Sports Radio Network. New Mexico 87, Grand Canyon 64. Luke Hop with 2 of his 11. That was in the first half. As the Lobos improved to 5-1 in conference play. They're headed to San Diego State on Saturday. That's where JJ is. JJ's in America's finest city. I'm Jeff Simbieta. He's JJ Buck. Lady Lobos play today. 11:30 pregame, noon tip in Viejas as the Lobos look to bounce back from a loss against Nevada on, what day is it? Today's Wednesday, so it was Saturday, against a good Aztec team. JJ, you always seem to get the day games. You fly back tonight then? Is that the deal?
That is correct. And there's always people wondering, this doesn't fit in my life. Why are they playing this game? Well, they're playing this game because the Aztecs are estimating a crowd of 7,000.
Is that right?
For this game.
For a good women's basketball team. And they'll get a raucous, loud bunch of screaming kids in there.
Kids that are just screaming for anything and everything for 2 hours.
That's it. I mean, why not do it? All right, I got emails come in this morning. This says... that was a J.J. Buck game, Jeff. How many times in the last couple of years the boys hype the opponent in pregame? Oh, they're so good on offense. Then they go and score 16 points, shoot 5 for 31 in the first half. That was Team Talk a Lot last night. They couldn't hit a barn. That's from Glenn. Okay. I mean, they didn't shoot incredibly well. What did they shoot overall? Grand Canyon, 33% from the field. It's a pretty decent team over there. I'm not going to tell you they're the best team in the league. I'm not. But they went up to Boise and kicked the crud out of the Broncos, and that was the only league loss you've got, right? I mean, that feels like it was a pretty formidable team. Sometimes, a team can be good and you can still handle it. I mean, our team talk a lot. Is that what that was? Feels like that's a pretty good emerging program over there. Dan says the 2026 award has been claimed. Jeffrey returning Juan Jose Gato Roberto. It might have been January 13th that the OD phone lines and email machine were lit up like a flippin' Christmas tree yesterday. OD might have just won the Show of the Year hardware for 2026. JJ, yesterday was fun. Yeah, Bob, right? I mean, Bob's over there laughing. Yesterday, Stan got people riled up, JJ, and it wasn't even me. I didn't have to come to my defense. Everybody else kind of did. So, Mike says, reply to Stan. Jeff Ballou is probably one of the Lobo fans that used to cry about the age of BYU's freshman back. I don't know. And then this is from Dean. He says, good morning, nice call on the Lobo game. Also, real nice win by the Lobos. There for a while, Uriah Net was looking like Jamal Mashburn. Really nice mid-range game by the guards. Who was the assistant who took over for Bryce Drew when he got thrown out? The assistant coach's name is Casey Shaw. He's a 6-year assistant for Grand Canyon. In fact, he's got 2 sons who play on the team. Caleb Shaw played last night, and Luke, who does not play very much. And Caleb Shaw last night contributed 9 points. That's who the assistant coach was. See, Stan, I did my homework. I was also on my notes. It was right here before we went in, JJ. What happened to my Zoom? Why did my Zoom? I'll fix that. Great. All right, more from you. I got a bunch on the text line, 505-246-0610. Lobos' big winners last night in the pit. Final score was 87-64. What says you, and what do you think going into San Diego this weekend? Where do the Steelers go, Steeler fan? You feel good? You got Tomlin out. Feel good about yourself? Going to be better now, right? Because Tomlin's gone, and Rodgers will be gone, and woo! The opening drive. A 95.9 FM and AM 670 Sports Hour.
The exciting action of the We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Still looking. He's going to throw it up to the end zone. Intercepted. The game is over. Hi, this is Scott.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
Eagle Greens and Turf are a family-owned and operated business with over 25 years of experience in the home improvement industry. They are your exclusive dealer of Celebrity Green synthetic putting greens and artificial turf. They also have artificial turf that is specifically designed for your pets. Eagle Greens and Turf are proud sponsors of ProView Networks and can make your lawn green all year long at 505-273-2744.
The kind of deal that'll leave you feeling stunned and make you whisper things like,
Burrito Express is proud to announce that we are the official burrito spot of ProView Networks. Since 1982, with 6 locations serving Albuquerque, Rio Rancho, and Roswell, the question is, red or green? Let's go to the burrito. Visit letsgototheburrito.com and order now.
I'm a Blaze King customer, and I have been for the last 10 years. Blaze King stoves are very efficient, they're easy to maintain, and they use a lot less wood than you would typically use with a fireplace.
Blaze King, that's a fire.
The heat is on when it's a Blaze King wood stove, controlling heat up to 40 hours on a single load of wood with a built-in thermostat. See for yourself at either Blaze King showroom, Albuquerque and Santa Fe. Blaze King, and now that's a fire.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walking to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number 1. Cover it with green stuff, 1 scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
So get coverage options within your budget.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
From the Sandia foothills to the banks of the Rio Grande, generations of families remain. For 5 generations, Gala Chevrolet has handed down values written in stone, leading the way under sun-filled skies, past the vintage glow of Route 66. Built by generations past, built for generations to come. This is New Mexico. This is Gallus.
Eagle Greens and Turf are a family-owned and operated business with over 25 years of experience in the home improvement industry. They are your exclusive dealer of celebrity green, synthetic putting greens, and artificial turf. They also have artificial turf that is specifically designed for your pets. Eagle Greens and Turf are proud sponsors of ProView Networks and can make your lawn green all year long at 505-273-2744.
Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry.
And AM 610 KNML, the sports animal. Now it's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the sports animal. Here's Jeff Symbieta and JJ Buck.
Beautiful pass by Aubrey on the penetration. A double-fisted finish by Rock, and the Lobo lead is 5.
The call last night on the UNM Sports Radio Network, New Mexico 87, Grand Canyon 64. It is the 4th straight win for the Lobos, who improve to 5-1 in conference play, 14-3 overall. I haven't even checked the net ranking. I got to check that this morning. Jeff Symbieta, JJ Buck, thanks for being with us this morning. JJ, another impressive outing by the Lobos, who pulled away from a good team in the second half, outscored Grand Canyon 49-31 in the second half, and blew the Lobos out of the building, and I thought unraveled them a little bit. Bryce Drew, the head coach, got 2 technicals on one argument, really. I mean, he got he got his money's worth, went out there, said his piece, did his gestures, and walked up the ramp.
It was going to go one way or the other, and it went the wrong way for his team.
Yeah, it did. All right, I'm going to go to the phones here, 505-246-0610. But I got a couple. Let me get you one more on the text line. Mud's hot and cold on us, JJ. Mud says this is why. I'm not sure this is why, because Stan didn't want to hear about the Steelers in the first segment yesterday. So this is why we need a morning show dedicated to Lobo Sports. I mean, I would call UNM and ask them to start producing one so you could listen to one. Although, have we talked about anything but Lobo Sports this morning, JJ?
No, it's been 1 hour of Lobo Athletics, because it's not like, we don't do that, but hey, teach their own.
When
you find someone that can do 3 hours of Lobo content for 365 days a year. You find that person, and I will give you a high five.
Well, and knock yourself out. I think that's great. When it warrants it, we do it. He says, plus, why do we care if a guy's 23 years old and is a freshman? He's a star and winning games with his big presence. Let these players play. BYU for years had 23 and 24-year-old sophomores on their team. We couldn't say nothing. Go Lobos. No, you couldn't say nothing.
No, you said stuff all the time.
Yeah, you said plenty. And I don't care. All I said, he's not.
I wasn't saying it's a negative. It's just you have higher expectations for Bouillon, man. That's
all I'm saying. Is there a difference between the 18-year-old freshman to Net and Hall and Bouillon? You expect more because you expect more coming in because he was a pro in the Croatian League and was really good. That's all. It's not a negative at all. It was a distinction. There's no negative to it. All right. Edward, good morning. You're on the Sports Animal. Hello, Edward.
Good morning. Who was that smooth and sultry voice calling the Lobo game last night?
That was Philip McDonald. He was very, very
good. Okay, I was impressed. I don't know much about the Lobo basketball program, but I'm going to say quite succinctly, this team's good.
Yeah.
This team's good. And I'm looking forward. I thought they were really good last year, and I'm looking forward to what they can do during the conference and get a good seeding and maybe win a couple of games in the NCAA tournament. Speaking positive things into the atmosphere. Hey, our worst dream may come true, JJ. There's a strong possibility that the Texans may host the AFC Championship game. You guys might have talked about it yesterday. But this defense the Texans have going into the New England Patriots, by the way, the Patriots played a team that was completely offensively inept with their offensive line. So kind of caught a break, right? And they won a pretty good outing. Any win's a good win. And I think that the one player that Denver didn't want to play was Josh Allen. The best player in the league the last 4 years, and I think people are finally starting to realize that He's amazing, and if they kind of somehow pull up an upset, the Houston Texans may host the AFC Championship game with that defense.
The Texans are are they the 5 or the 6?
So Buffalo is the 6, and Houston's the 5.
Yeah, that's right. So if they both win, it would be in Houston. Which I don't know that would be a horrible thing for Buffalo. Everybody says, "Oh, they love to play in cold weather. They're great." I don't know that anybody loves to play in cold weather. With all due respect, like you might like watching it. Do you think Josh Allen's better in cold weather than he is in warm weather? I think everybody would like to play in climate control.
Agreed. Now, Jeff, good segue. So each of the 4 divisional round games are played in cold weather cities this weekend.
Yeah, although the weather in Denver's not going to be miserable. Let me get you Denver weather because I don't think it's going to be that bad.
Just briefly, when the Steelers got rid of – sorry, Mudd, I'm going to talk briefly about the Steelers. Yeah. When the Steelers elected to move off of their coach, I texted my friends and I said, there's always been an argument between the Ravens and the Steelers. Why doesn't Harbaugh take the Steelers job and what's his name take the Ravens? That would be awesome.
I think it would be wonderful.
I think that would be really cool. But there's a group of 5 coaches, Harbaugh, and then Mark McCarthy, and Denver's coach, Sean Payton, and then, of course, the Steelers coach. They're all kind of the same. They've all one-time Super Bowl champion winners. You know, they've all taken their teams in different teams to the playoffs. And I think there's some differentiation. And quite honestly, Kansas City's coach was in that until he got Patrick Mahomes, and then he kind of turned the corner. But I think it would be very ironic if those 2 coaches, it won't happen.
I love it, too. Yeah, and then Steve Biscotti, the Ravens owner, yesterday was asked about it in his press conference. I guess it was breaking as he was having a press conference, and somebody said, "Hey, Tom is done. Is he a candidate for your job?" And he said, the pounding of the chest thing kind of eliminated him. But you could see him thinking about it as it was going through his head because it was really in real time. It was raw thought going on right there, and I thought that was fascinating.
Hey, Jeff and JJ, about 3 or 4 weeks ago, I mentioned that teams should do performance-based contracts for their quarterbacks. Yeah, and one of the callers after me said, that's crazy. Well, guess what Baltimore is doing? They're saying, hey, we want to rewrite your contract, with their quarterback. It's going to happen with Dak Prescott. They're going to rewrite and restructure his. It's called restructuring, but really they're redoing the contract and go on down the line because the team isn't performing at what they wanted to perform. So they have to restructure the deals to bring more talent. So once again, I'm not crazy.
The evolution.
I'm just a little ahead of the curve.
But you're not getting less money. They're not giving up money.
Exactly right.
Yeah, they're not giving up money. They're just restructuring.
Yeah, the money's still there.
It's creative accounting, quite, for lack of a better term.
All right, man.
So have a great day, guys.
See you.
Thank you.
All right, 505-246-0610. Bob, I got it. Hey, JJ, net rankings, I just checked this morning. What were the levels? 44 yesterday? They were at 41 this morning, from what I can see. Is that what you got them at? Your rankings that you've looked at? I got them at 41, and I got Grand Canyon dropping out of the top 100 down to 102. Does that matter? Home victory was it's still a quad 2, right, against Grand Canyon if they're 102. Cutoff was like 125, if I'm not mistaken. I always mess up on that. I'll get you those. Travis, good morning. You're on the Sports Animal. Hello, Travis.
Good morning, fella.
How you living?
Oh, Stan. Oh, Stan. Jeff, some dudes are always trying to ice skate uphill. Stan's call actually kind of encapsulates what is currently wrong with this country. No one can admit they're wrong. Stan began his call today with, Jeff, let me explain what I said yesterday, which I was here for. I was like, take the floor, Stan. Tell us what you were thinking. And ended it by doubling down on his bad takes. Let me ask you, Stan, you think the guy calling the game last night for Lobo Radio Network with PMAC, who is Lobo royalty, wasn't going to break down the game?
I wasn't prepared. Yeah. You want to see my notes, by the way? You want to see what I do? I'm happy to share them with you. I'm happy to share my formula. I don't know that it's the greatest ever, but it's mine, and it seems to work.
I would encourage you to Dropbox that to Stan, although I'm not sure he's going to have reception in the Burger King parking lot. But maybe text him. I mean, clearly he has cell phone reception. But, like, I guess my question is this. Like, what does Stan do during baseball season? Like, he just has to be, like, chilling in the BK Lounge parking lot, throwing pickles, mustard, and ketchup around his car because you guys cover wall-to-wall MLB during that time.
Yeah.
He's got to be freaking out.
Look, what is the Burger King? The motto is have it your way, right? And we didn't give it to Stan his way. All we ask is that you let us serve it your way. Isn't that their thing? And we didn't give it to Stan his way, and that's fair, right? At Burger King, you hold the pickle, hold the lettuce. Special orders don't upset us, and so I didn't give it to him the way he wants, and he wasn't happy. So I understand.
Look, there's an alternative for that. Stan, start your own program.
Yeah.
You and Mudd can host your own show, wall-to-wall, Lobos. There is an alternative for that. By the way, Stan, this is how you do it. Jeff, yesterday I called, and I suggested that people take GCU to cover. I still thought the Lobos were going to win that game.
Yeah,
but
about
I just
that.
thought 8 points was too much.
Yeah, about
I was
that.
wrong.
Yeah.
Listen, I was wrong. Lobos ran away with it. Keep in mind, the defense of this team has been really good all season long, and realistically, like, it's only getting better. But there are a few things that I love to see. First, I love to see Aubrey finishing contested layups at the bucket. I love to see that this team in the last few games has been moving away from jacking up 40-plus threes and moving towards more mid-range jump shots. I think that helped out Cho last night, obviously helping out Hall. But I think the addition of the mid-range game has really been magic for this team. And I want everybody to keep in mind, this is a team that unquestionably should be undefeated going into this weekend, but for a little stumble in Boise. But Lobos absolutely had an opportunity, multiple opportunities to win that game. But the progress, the development of this team has really been impressive. And San State's in trouble. Have a good day, boys.
See you. All right, JJ, I agree with him on the mid-range. I love, and that was to me the most unexpected thing that happened yesterday. I'm not surprised that they were good defensively. It's the seventh game in a row that they've held their opponents under 70 points. I'm not surprised that Jake Hall went for 22. But what surprised me is when I looked down after watching this team all year. I've called, I think, 9 games, but I've watched almost every one of them. I think I missed one when I was traveling. And I'm okay with it. Surprised, but not bothered, that out of their 55 field goal attempts last night, only 16 were three-point shots. Uncharacteristic of this team, which I really like because it shows me that there's a number of ways that they can win. And Eric Olin talked about it, and we'll hear from him a little bit later what he said in the postgame show. But he talked about, with them being, packing it down low, and he talked, I asked him, was it intentional? But I love the way they played last night.
Styles make fights.
Yeah.
And this team is still going to shoot threes. There's going to be games where they shoot a lot, and it's what opponents do. You always want to say that you're going to control the game and you're going to do what you do, but there's good teams that come in, take certain things away, present you different opportunities, and your last night was one of those opportunities where they didn't have to settle for three-point shots. They got the mid-range game going. They scored inside, and that's what good teams do is, yes, you have your identity, but then you can also pivot, attack what teams are throwing at you, make them pay for different things, and that's what good basketball teams do, and that's what you're seeing from the Lobos.
All right, when we get back, I'm going to give you some nuggets coming out of this game. Some really interesting things that maybe you didn't know. Where does the 21-game win streak and counting rank on the all-time list? Where does Jake Hall rank on the all-time list for freshmen? A lot of the things that he continues to do. Going to give you some highlights statistically coming out of it. I continue to get my inbox filled with stuff from you. I'll get everything that you sent. 505-246-0610 is the text line. Emails, Jeff at sportsanimалabq.com, JJ at sportsanimалabq.com. It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610 Sports Animal.
This report is sponsored by eBay. So I was on eBay because I'm absolutely obsessed with
We
this
would
rare
like to thank the
hologram
following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
eBay had it. They even had
High school sports are back. You can watch every ProView Network broadcast online on the NFHS network. Every moment from every game from every sport, including all NMAA state championship games. Get your monthly pass now. Just go to ProViewNetworks.com, click on the NFHS logo, and sign up today. Watch New Mexico's best.
Across the state of New Mexico, different journeys will begin. And when their journeys unite, together will become one experience. Our campuses across New Mexico in Portales, Roswell, and Ruidoso come together to provide you the support as one family. We are one family that share one goal, one opportunity at a time. We are one Eastern.
Burrito Express is proud to announce that we're the official burrito spot of ProView Networks. Since 1982, with 6 locations serving Albuquerque, Rio Rancho, and Roswell, the question is, red or green? Let's go to the burrito. Visit letsgototheburrito.com and order now.
People say a rug would really bring the room together. And sure, you don't know what that means, but it sounds important.
From the Sandia foothills to the banks of the Rio Grande, generations of families remain. For 5 generations, Gala Chevrolet has handed down values written in stone, leading the way under sun-filled skies, past the vintage glow of Route 66. Built by generations past, built for generations to come. This is New Mexico. This is Gallus.
Turbo Threads is a proud sponsor of ProView Networks.
That's why she partners with Ranger for auto.
Almost 30 years of experience means fast service, great prices, and a wide selection of apparel from t-shirts to performance sport shirts, even jackets and hats. They feature low minimums and no setup charges on most orders. Turbo Threads is located at 1503 Golf Course Road in Rio Rancho, or find them on Facebook, online at turbothreads.com, or call 999-1234 for Turbo Threads.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Or a 366 master mechanic set with
Albuquerque's leader in sports is ProView. From pros to prep. All your favorite action. All your favorite talk shows. Find it on ProView Networks.
ProView Networks would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. Hans Whitler Automotive, German car maintenance and repair in Albuquerque, New Mexico. Call 505-294-7684 or visit hanswhitlerauto.com.
You can share prize picks with your friends or copy lineups from winners with a single click. Download the Prize Picks app today. Use code KNML to get $50 in lineups after you play.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics.
Prize Picks. It's good.
IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com. High school sports are back. You can watch every ProView Network broadcast online on the NFHS network.
Big bucket at the end of the first half. Uriah Tenet, another double-digit night, 13 points for the Lobo freshman. 7th game in a row that he has been in double figures in an 87-64 Lobo victory over the Lopes of Grand Canyon. Opening drive, Jeff Symbieta and J.J. Buck. Mud says the Mud Lobo show would be cherry and silver. He says, P.S. keep Philip Mickey D's. That was Philip McDonald. See, Philip Mickey D or P-Mac or Philly cheesesteak. I thought Phil did a nice job last night, and I got to work with the former Lobo sharpshooter. Jeff, JJ, it's the opening drive. All right, JJ, I got a bunch of, and I got to find them again. I wrote some down, and I think Steve Hurlburt is Steve Hurlburt. Remember Steve Hurlburt?
That's a throwback.
Remember Steve? You know, I had lunch with Traub yesterday, and we were talking about some of the people who have come through, and Steve Kirkland is as good of an SID as I've ever worked with. You've got to work with Steve a bit, right? He's the sports information director for Lobo men's basketball.
Of course, and I got to have a victory shakes with Steve in Fort Collins.
Oh, see, that's good times. He's big on that. Yeah, first of all, as kind and pleasant of a gentleman as there is in the business, but I think he is just so stinking good. And so his notes at the end of the games, and Grammer uses a lot of his stats in his stuff. So there were some nuggets, but I got some nuggets that I wrote down afterwards as well. So, JJ, I want to go through some of the stuff where Lobo basketball is, and I want to put this in context with you a little bit before I go here, because I don't want to get hyperbolic and I don't want to blow things up. But after 17 games, Eric Golin's 14-3. It's the best start for a first-year coach, tying him with Steve Alford and Norm Ellenberg. It's pretty good company for this first-year coach, isn't it?
Not too shabby.
For a guy that people were, well, I don't know about. Can he coach? Well, he was at UCSD, but fine. And then, JJ, I was sitting in this chair, man. I took the phone calls with you after they lost to New Mexico State, and then they lose to Nebraska, who, by the way, still hasn't lost. But they lost. They committed the cardinal sin of losing to their rival, and then how could they lose to a football school like Nebraska? And I listened to Lobo fan. And what was that, 6 games in? Lobo fan was pretty convinced that this guy wasn't it. Feels a little different here as we sit here on January 14th, doesn't it?
Just a little bit.
Sometimes let things play out. So let me give you a few things. New Mexico has now won 21 in a row at home. Now, it hasn't all been Eric Golan. Certainly, that goes back to last year. That's the 5th longest in program history. It's tied for the 5th longest active streak in the country. Lobos last night trailed for exactly 0 minutes and 0 seconds. It was the first time this season that they did not trail in a game. It got close. They opened up a 10-2 lead early. It got carved down, but they never trailed. In fact, there was a tie in the second. There were 2 ties in the game. Jake Hall, 22 points last night. JJ, the stuff that he's doing and what he's going to do to the freshman record book is going to be interesting to see by the end of the season. Hall's back-to-back 20-point games. He had 22 last night. It's the second time he's done it this season. That feat, back-to-back 20-point games by a freshman, has been done just 3 times in the history of Lobo basketball. Twice this year by Jake Hall, and once by Kenny Thomas in the 95-96 season. Hell, put that in, because I got my own context on that. What does that say to you?
That this is a program that has had a lot of good talent come through, but to be able to do it as a freshman at that level, it's really impressive. Like it's a phenomenal stat for Jake Hall and his efficiency and ability.
All right, so when you're doing something that has been done once before, right, and you've done it twice. The one time it was done was 30 years ago. Yes, Kenny Thomas is that old. And it was done by one of, if not the best player in the history of the program. And we're not having that game today. You can do it on Kenny's show later. Who's the best Lobo ever? All right? I don't know that it's hyperbolic to say what's going on here is, I don't want to say program defining or any of that, but as good as you've seen a freshman play over the first 17 games of a career, period. And there have been a lot of freshmen who have come in here and made a difference. So what this young man from Carlsbad, California is doing is pretty remarkable. A couple other things. JT Rock had 4 blocks last night, not only a career high, but that was the most by a Lobo in a game this season. And we talk a lot about what the Lobos do defensively, and we should. Okay? They held Grand Canyon to 33% shooting. They held them to 31 points in the second half. They held them under 70 points. It's the seventh game in a row that an opponent's been under 70 points. For the Lobos offense, they were 58.3% in the second half. That's the fourth straight game they shot over 50% in the second half. This was something we talked about early in the season, JJ. What are they doing in the second half? What are they doing offensively in the second half? Look, players make plays, okay? Players make shots. And so you're a hell of a damn good coach if it works and you win and your adjustments work. But something's going on in the adjustments that are being made by this staff in the second half. If you're going to blame a coach when you get beat or things don't go well, don't you got to give him a little bit of love when you say, look what's going on here in the second half, and what are they doing? Yeah, players make plays. But you start to see trends. Don't you have to give the coaching staff a little bit of a love?
Well, I think it's just players executing the plan. I don't necessarily look at the team and say that feel that there's major adjustments. I just think it's chemistry. It's players understanding who they are. I look at Dayton Albury. I thought early in the season all he was doing was looking to get fouled.
I agree.
I don't think that's who he is anymore. Antonio Troll, I think everyone was looking at him and going, "Oh, this dude's going to score 20 points a game." Well, that's not the case. I mean, he kind of has a lesser role offensively. And to your point of the adjustments, I just think it's everyone growing and fitting their roles and getting through that process of early in the season. The offensive, defensive responsibility, you're still learning that, trying to execute it in a game. Now you're comfortable, you're confident, you're going out there. And of course there's adjustments in games. We know that, and we all see that in sports, but a lot of time it's just executing the plan. And I think we're really seeing the Lobos comfortable defensively. It's allowed them to grow offensively. Everyone's settling into their roles, and the players just playing to their strength. It's Jake Hall getting to where he wants to be on the floor. Dayton Albury looking to score and not just be fouled in a game, and then everyone else settling in. You have a really good basketball team that is absolutely a team that can win the Mountain West Conference, and now it's a huge test on the road against San Diego State, and that's what you want to see. You're bought in, locked in, and you are in a great position to go into this game in Viejas on Saturday to figure out who you are as the top team in the Mountain West Conference.
5 players in double figures last night. Another one scored 9. Balanced scoring, and you got out-rebounded. And Eric Olin talked about 11 turnovers, but some of garbage time at the end. You out-rebounded them, 39-29. You controlled the tempo, and you did everything right. All right, we'll get back to the phones when we get back. 505-246-0610. Or do you want me to take this call? All right, I got to take this break. When we get back, go on the phones. 505-246-0610. It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 670 Sports Animal.
Traffic recap on current accidents. Right now, we've got a crash cleanup on I-40. This is
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Responders are still on scene. In the metro on Manal Boulevard, we've got an accident at the Juan Tabo Boulevard intersection. At Jefferson Street, we've got an accident at the Hopkins Street intersection with slowdowns. And in Rio Rancho, a disabled vehicle on Highway 528
Rudy's is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
Across the state of New Mexico, different journeys will begin. And when their journeys unite, together will become one experience. Our campuses across New Mexico in Portales, Roswell, and Ruidoso come together to provide you the support as one family. We are one family that share one goal, one opportunity at a time. We are one Eastern.
Burrito Express is proud to announce that we are the official burrito spot of ProView Networks. Since 1982, With 6 locations serving Albuquerque, Rio Rancho, and Roswell, the question is, red or green? Let's go to the burrito. Visit letsgototheburrito.com and order now.
Sniffles and sneezes got you down? GoodRx is here to help with big savings on commonly
We would like
prescribed
to thank the
cold and flu
following
meds.
sponsors
GoodRx
for
is
making
free and
this
easy to
broadcast
use.
possible.
GoodRx is accepted at all major pharmacies like CVS, Walmart, and Walgreens. Just search your prescription. Find it
International
online,
Protective
then show your
Services is
pharmacist
a
at
proud
the
supporter
counter.
of ProView Sports
GoodRx is
and New
not
Mexico
insurance, but
Youth
it works whether you have
Athletics.
insurance or not. If you do, GoodRx may be
IPS
full
provides
price.
residential and
Download the
commercial
free app
security
or visit
services
GoodRx.com
in the
to
Albuquerque
save
metro
today.
area.
You still thinking job
For
changing?
more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com. ProView Networks would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. Hans Whitler Automotive, German car maintenance and repair in Albuquerque, New Mexico. Call 505-294-7684 or visit hanswhitlerauto.com.
From the Sandia foothills to the banks of the Rio Grande, generations of families remain. For 5 generations, Gala Chevrolet has handed down values written in stone, leading the way under sun-filled skies, past the vintage glow of Route 66. Built by generations past, built for generations to come. This is New Mexico. This is Gallus.
Albuquerque's leader in sports is ProView. From pros to prep. All your favorite action. All your favorite talk shows. Find it on
Still got it. Your immune system weakens as you age, making it harder to fight flu, pneumococcal pneumonia.
I'm a Blaze King customer, and I have been for the last 10 years. Blaze King stoves are very efficient, they're easy to maintain, and they use a lot less wood than you would typically use with a fireplace.
Blaze King, that's a fire.
The heat is on when it's a Blaze King wood stove, controlling heat up to 40 hours on a single load of wood with a built-in thermostat. See for yourself at either Blaze King showroom, Albuquerque and Santa Fe. Blaze King, and now that's a fire.
We've been trained, conditioned, and rewarded for doing more. But people weren't designed for all that doing. Our bodies need to settle into nothing from time to time. Into nothing at all. In a world obsessed with doing more, we invite you to undo.
At University of Maryland Global Campus, we believe you should never stop chasing it. That's why we offer a skills-based education that helps move
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics.
leadership and critical thinking skills.
IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
Eagle Greens and Turf are a family-owned and operated business with over 25 years of experience in the home improvement industry. They are your exclusive dealer of celebrity green, synthetic putting greens, and artificial turf. They also have artificial turf that is specifically designed for your pets. Eagle Greens and Turf are proud sponsors of ProView Networks and can make your lawn green all year long at 505-273-2744.
Across the state of New Mexico, different journeys will begin. And when their journeys unite, together will become one experience. Our campuses across New Mexico in Portales, Roswell, and Ruidoso come together to provide you the support as one family. We are one family that share one goal, one opportunity at a time. We are One Eastern.
Burrito Express is proud to announce that we are the official burrito spot of ProView Networks. Since 1982, with 6 locations serving Albuquerque, Rio Rancho, and Roswell, the question is, red or green? Let's go to the burrito. Visit letsgototheburrito.com and order now.
Battled on the UNM Sports Radio Network, Lobos 87-64 over Grand Canyon. You get to listen
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walk to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number 1. Cover it with green stuff, 1 scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest.
Valley there, Hotel Circle, just to the west, a touch of Viejas Arena and the San Diego State campus on the Montezuma Mesa.
Yeah, we're a little bit away from campus. San Diego Marriott Mission Valley here. Very, very nice property. I'm really hoping. I know it's going to be a stretch, but I'm really hoping that there's one Aztec women's basketball fan out there that will call us this morning to give us a preview of the game, so I can talk about players that
so they could help you prepare.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I'm keeping my fingers crossed before I have to head to the arena.
I would like that too. Yeah, please. Sherman, good morning. Thanks for holding. You're on the Sports Channel. What's up, Sherman?
So, if you just looked at the score from last night, you would just assume it was a blowout. My observation is that Grand Canyon is a very, very good team. They played some great defense early on, and so I'm more impressed with the win because Grand Canyon is such a good team.
It's fair. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, you handled a really good team yesterday. Do I think they're the best team in the league? I don't. I think that's a program that's on the rise. I think they're one of the better teams in the league. Now, if you go simply by net rankings, they're the 8th best team in the league, but I think they're better than Boise State, and they went up there and beat Boise State. I think they're probably better than Wyoming. But, yeah, you handled them is the point.
Yeah, they can win on the road. But now I have a question for you because you're on the floor over there on the east side. What was it that happened with the Grand Canyon coach and the referees?
Yeah, he didn't like the fact. He thought it was getting a little too physical, and he was pointing at the referee on the far court and said, blow your whistle. He felt that they were getting the short end of the whistle. You saw when he pointed to his mouth, right? He had, like, the whistle thing in his mouth as he was yelling, blow your whistle. And Bryce knew as soon as he stepped onto the court, he was walking up that ramp. He got 2 quick technicals. He came out on the floor and got the first one. He said something, and as he stepped out, he got the first one. And after he was teed up the first time, that's when he went to the mouth and said, blow your whistle, and that caused the second one. He got ejected, and he didn't argue it for a second.
No, he didn't argue for a second. He walked off. Well, it was a great win, and I was also listening to you while I was there. So, great game. Thanks.
Thanks, Sherman. Appreciate you. 505-246-0610. You can get in on any of that. Yeah, I mean, that was where a guy flat out said, you know what, I'm done. I don't want to watch this crap anymore. Right? I mean, he knew he was done. Text line. Hey, Jeff, boys played well last night. Hall seemed to be the X factor, and when he's on, Lobos played at a different level. Surprised on how weak the crowd was for such a noteworthy opponent. Any ideas on why Utah State's net is 13, so much higher than ours when we've played such stronger opponents? How many teams get into the NCAA tournament from the Mountain West based on today's standings and metrics? That's from the Greek Freak. All right, a lot in there. So, JJ, explain. Now, this one's interesting. Utah State is ranked 23rd. They have 1 loss. They're 14-1. That 1 loss was to South Florida. Their best wins are. I mean, what did they do in the non-conference? His point's not invalid. They beat VCU by 3. You went on the road and beat VCU. That's your common opponent. I think it's a totally fair question.
It's still early in terms of the overall metrics. The Lobos have a quad 2 and quad 3 loss.
And that's the big difference, right?
Utah State, while the Lobos do have 1 quad 1 win, that's at VCU. Utah State doesn't have that yet. But they don't have a quad 2 or quad 3 loss. Yeah. And those the quad 3 especially weights you down in the net rankings. Yeah, and that's why there's that discrepancy right now. But that can change. You still play them. And you're showing that you are a team that can be in the upper echelon. And Grand Canyon's not great. Grand Canyon's good. I don't want that word to just thrown out there willy nilly. Like it's some people have thrown out there this morning. But when you beat teams by double digits, that's very, very good. I'm not trying to downplay it. But in terms of, all right, we're talking about now net ranking, winning this conference, it's San Diego State and Utah State are now the teams you have to show you can go play and beat.
To your point on the losses, and to Greek Freak, maybe this helps understand it. First of all, they're 14-1, and you're 14-3. Okay, so 3 losses opposed to 1 loss. The loss to the Aggies right now is hurting you, and the Aggies fell to 138 in the net ranking. JJ, 135, if I'm not wrong, is the cutoff for a quad 2 on the road. So you need New Mexico State to climb back up above 135 to make that a quad 2 loss, which would be much less penal in regards to the metrics. The other loss is Boise State, and they're going the wrong way right now. That was a quad 2 road loss, and they're 86. The quad 1 loss to Nebraska isn't going to kill you. And then where are your great wins? And the VCU win is nice. I was looking where VCU was, and the Mississippi State win I think will get better as time goes on. But that why are the metrics that way? That's why. They've only lost once. You've lost 3, and you've got the quad 3 loss. As far as how many teams get into the NCAA tournament, JJ, if I set the number at 2.5 this year, am I setting it too low?
No, I think that's a fair number. I'd potentially be looking at 3. And for the Lobos, you have this conversation. It's still in front of them. You get San Diego State and Utah State twice, and you can flip those net rankings in your favor.
And net rankings as we sit here today for the Mountain West Conference, Utah State is at the top 14th. New Mexico is moved up to 41, which and keep climbing and keep winning. San Diego State is next, that's 64. Nevada 77, Wyoming 84, Boise State 86, Colorado State 96. And Grand Canyon fell out of the top 100 last night to 102. And then after that, man, you dip down. I mean, Fresno State and San Jose State, and you're going down. UNLV's down there too. UNLV's 164. Fresno State's below that, and San Jose State and Air Force are way down. So I mean, you can't lose any of those games. And those are the games, JJ, that hurt you. And even if you win, they don't help you. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you just hope you get out of there with a double-digit victory and you move on.
Yeah, because that matters. All right, 505-246-0610. We're going to change pace when we get back. I got a lot of emails and texts regarding some football stuff that we've got to hit on. We will do that when we get back. Have you opened up your Prize Picks app? Because this is such a great time of year to start playing Prize Picks. If you haven't been playing, I think you're missing out. If you have, I know you're having a great time with it. With all the hockey and the hoops and the playoffs, it's just a great time on the sports calendar to be playing Prize Picks. And I don't care if it's a new routine for the new year, or maybe you just trying something new's hard, or it's something that you've been doing. Look, the playoff matchups, the weekend hoops, everything is so much fun, and Prize Picks lets you take control. Download the Prize Picks app, and you play lineups of 2 to 6 players. Then you pick more or less, you watch the games, and when you're right, you win. I'm looking at what's going on tonight. How about Sam Merrill, the former Utah State star, who's playing tonight? They're playing against Philadelphia, more or less, 12.5 points for Sam Merrill. You like that? How about Brandon Ingram? Rebounds at Indiana. He plays for Toronto now. 7.5 rebounds, more or less. Joel Embiid's playing. How about that? You can play Joel Embiid, Donovan Mitchell. Go have fun. You can mix it up. You can play football and basketball when there's games. You can play hockey and football, however it is you like. And Prize Picks offers early payouts, so if your player gets off to a hot start, you've got the option now to cash out your winnings before the game even ends. Also, on Prize Picks, you can find your community. They've got a new social feeds feature, so you can share Prize Picks with your friends. You can copy lineups from winners all right there with a single click. Download the Prize Picks app today. Use the code KNML and get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. That's code KNML, $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup on Prize Picks. It is good to be right.
This report is sponsored by eBay.
So I was on eBay because I'm absolutely obsessed.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
My dreams. eBay had it.
ProView Networks would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. Hans Whitler Automotive, German car maintenance and repair in Albuquerque, New Mexico. Call 505-294-7684 or visit HansWhitlerAuto.com.
Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, red and green chili breakfast burritos, and frontier sweet rolls. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenprideabq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
From the Sandia foothills to the banks of the Rio Grande, generations of families remain. For 5 generations, Gallus Chevrolet has handed down values written in stone, leading the way under sun-filled skies, past the vintage glow of Route 66. Built by generations past, built for generations to come. This is New Mexico. This is Gallus.
Check our weekly specials at AmericanHome.com. Click deals. I'm Grace Toledo from the 96.3 News Radio.
Turbo Threads is a proud sponsor of ProView Networks. Almost 30 years of experience means fast service, great prices, and a wide selection of apparel from t-shirts to performance sport shirts, even jackets and hats. They feature low minimums and no setup charges on most orders. Turbo Threads is located at 1503 Golf Course Road in Rio Rancho, or find them on Facebook, online at turbothreads.com, or call 999-1234 for Turbo Threads.
Albuquerque's leader in sports is ProView. From pros to prep, all your favorite action. All your favorite talk shows.
Dear Winter, the mighty Toyota Tundra.
Find it on
toughest elements with exceptional power and
ProView Networks. Burrito Express is proud to announce that we are the official burrito spot of ProView Networks. Since 1982, with 6 locations serving Albuquerque, Rio Rancho, and Roswell,
Visit your Albuquerque Santa Fe Toyota dealer.
the question is, red or green? Let's go to the burrito. Visit letsgototheburrito.com and order now.
And propane heaters to keep you pouring through the winter. Plus, JPR Construction We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
We've been trained, conditioned, and rewarded for doing more. But people weren't designed for all that doing. Our bodies need to settle into nothing from time to time. Into nothing at all. In a world obsessed with doing more, we invite you to undo.
Eagle Greens and Turf are a family-owned and operated business with over 25 years of experience in the home improvement industry. They are your exclusive dealer of celebrity green, synthetic putting greens, and artificial turf. They also have artificial turf that is specifically designed for your pets. Eagle Greens and Turf are proud sponsors of ProView Networks and can make your lawn green all year long at 505-273-2744.
ProView Networks would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. Hans Whitler Automotive, German car maintenance and repair in Albuquerque, New Mexico. Call 505-294-7684 or visit HansWhitlerAuto.com. We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. For over 20 years, Evergard Roofing and Solar has been committed to customer service. Locally owned and operated, Evergard offers both commercial and residential roofing and solar services. For more info, please call 505-821-9543. Evergard Roofing and Solar are proud supporters of ProView Sports Network and New Mexico Youth Athletics.
For minor aches and pains. Are you 50 or older? This news is for you. The
International
CDC
Protective
recommends you
Services
get
is a
vaccinated
proud supporter
against
of
pneumococcal
ProView
pneumonia.
Sports and New Mexico
Even
Youth
if you're
Athletics.
healthy, your age puts you at risk. People 50 or
IPS
older
provides
are over
residential
6
and
times
commercial
more likely to
security
be
services
hospitalized
in the
with
Albuquerque
pneumococcal
metro
pneumonia
area.
compared to adults 18 to 49.
For more
Just
info,
one shot
please
can
call
protect you.
505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
Eagle Greens and Turf are a family-owned and operated business with over 25 years of experience in the home improvement industry. They are your exclusive dealer of celebrity green, synthetic putting greens, and artificial turf. They also have artificial turf that is specifically designed for your pets. Eagle Greens and Turf are proud sponsors of ProView Networks and can make your lawn green all year long at 505-273-2744.
We've been trained, conditioned, and rewarded for doing more. But people weren't designed for all that doing.
Tomlin led the organization to
Our bodies need to settle into nothing from time to time. Into nothing at all.
Had a losing season during his time in Pittsburgh. The Steelers
In
will
a
now be
world
hiring
obsessed
just their
with
fourth
doing
coach
more,
since 1969.
we invite you
In a statement released
to
Tuesday,
undo.
Tomlin said in part, "While this chapter comes to a close, my respect and love
We
for
would
the
like to
Pittsburgh
thank the
Steelers
following
will never
sponsors for
change.
making this
I'm excited
broadcast
for what
possible.
The future holds for this organization, and I will forever
High
be
school
grateful
sports are back. You can watch every ProView Network broadcast online on the NFHS network. Every moment from every game from every sport, including all NMAA state championship games. Get your monthly pass now. Just go to ProViewNetworks.com, click on the NFHS logo, and sign up today. Watch New Mexico's best.
Across the state of New Mexico, different journeys will begin. And when their journeys unite, together will become experience. Our campuses across New Mexico in Portales, Boswell, and Ruidoso come together to provide you the support as one family. We are one family that share one goal, one opportunity at a time. We are one Eastern.
Burrito Express is proud to announce that we are the official burrito spot of ProView Networks. Since 1982, with 6 locations serving Albuquerque, Rio Rancho, and Roswell, the question is, red or green? Let's go to the burrito. Visit letsgototheburrito.com and order now.
AM 610, the Sports Animal.
Joel, three-pointer by Antonio on the way, and he got it. Antonio Joel for three.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. ProView Networks would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
See the Aztecs on Saturday. Jeff Symbieta, J.J. Buck. Also last night in Mountain West, Fresno State beat Colorado State 79-69. San Jose State wins at home. They beat Air Force 70-62. And J.J. Boise State has lost 4 league games in a row for the first time since 2019. They lose in overtime to the Rebels 89-85. They are 1-5 in league play. Their only win was that win against the Lobos up in
Goodness.
Yeah.
They're in a rough spot, but I know everyone's asking how the heck the Lobos lost that game, and it's because they pushed New Mexico around.
Yeah.
And we've seen that that's a recipe to really frustrate the Lobos is if you push them around, it can be a long night for them.
All right. He doesn't get enough airtime. He's the host of Lobo Live with Kenny Thomas. He's the host of Unfiltered with Kenny Thomas, and now he's on our show. He is Kenny Thomas. Hey, Kenny Thomas, you're on the Sports Animal. Hi, Kenny Thomas.
Hey, you guys, how you doing,
What's
man?
happening?
I had to call in, and I listen to you guys still, and you guys are still teaching me, and I'm learning so much, man. And I haven't called in, so I was like, let me call in and say what's up to the fellas. What's going on, man?
Life's grooving, man. A little Lobo talk this morning makes Stan happy. So.
Yeah, and then you got to make Bud happy. Try to make everybody happy is hard, Jeff, right? Because once you get into it, you're talking about JJ's Lobo women's team, right? That's playing some pretty good ball right now. And I had a chance to have Mike Coach Bradbury on my show like a couple weeks ago, and he enlightened me on some things on Obviously, our women need some support as well and more. But it's an underserved opportunity as far as our women not getting the opportunities that they have. But Jeff, the crazy thing about it is that these Lobos are playing at a pretty good high level right now. And as you know, in the beginning of the season, I feel like there was a lot of one-on-one ball. But now I feel like they're moving the ball. And you never know between 8 or 9 guys who's going to get opportunities to be able to score and get their chance to play.
But Kenny, don't you
I'm
think?
excited for this Lobo squad.
Look, at the beginning of the year, there were dudes that didn't even know each other's name, for crying out loud, right? Everybody was brand new. Now you're 17 games in, and they look like a basketball team. I don't think that's odd. I don't think that anybody should be caught off guard that it took this team a while to figure things out. And by the way, they're 14-3.
And you know what's sad, Jess? It's like everybody's like starting to buy in. Like it's sad because this is Lobo Nation, right? Like this community breeds and bleeds basketball and football, right? When it comes down to it. But it's one of those things. I have the naysayers calling in and texting to the show as well, Lobos Live, and people, man, there's always something out there. But the fact of the matter is that the way that they're playing is, I think they're playing at a very, very high level right now. But I want to ask you guys something. Isn't it time for Antonio Chol to consistently put some numbers together? I think this last game is going to help him to be able to continue that movement.
It's interesting.
What do you think about that?
How big numbers? Because the music's playing, we're at the break. How big numbers do you want to see, Kenny? Like, what do you need to see? You need to see 15 a night, 12 a night. He scored 9 and 6 last night. What do you need to see?
Night.
How many?
12 to 13, easy a night.
Yeah, fair.
And then about 8 rebounds. So,
All right, man. Appreciate it. Listen, and Kenny, thanks for calling in. Continued success on your stuff. You're doing a great job. Listen to Kenny every day here on the Sports Animal at 4 o'clock with Unfiltered with Kenny Thomas. Thanks, Kenny. All right, I'll address what Kenny had to say when we get back. Yep. It's the opening drive. Top of the hour on 95.9 FM and AM 610 Sports Animal.
This is a Westwood One Sports Minute.
The Philadelphia Eagles fired offensive coordinator Kevin Patullo following a
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. ProView Networks would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. Hans Whitler Automotive, German car maintenance and repair in Albuquerque, New Mexico. Call 505-294-7684 or visit HansWhitlerAuto.com.
I'm a Blaze King customer, and I have been for the last 10 years. Blaze King stoves are very efficient, they're easy to maintain, and they use a lot less wood than you would typically use with a fireplace.
Blaze King, that's a fire.
The heat is on when it's a Blaze King wood stove, controlling heat up to 40 hours on a single load of wood with a built-in thermostat. See for yourself at either Blaze King showroom, Albuquerque and Santa Fe. Blaze King, and now that's a fire.
We've been trained, conditioned, and rewarded for doing more. But people weren't designed for all that doing. Our bodies need to settle into nothing from time to time. Into nothing at all. In a world obsessed with doing more, we invite you to undo.
Hey, this is Lisa Stoker.
Albuquerque's leader in sports is Pro View. From pros to prep. All your favorite action. All your favorite talk shows. Find it on
Maybe my husband. He's so proud of me.
Pro
It makes me
View
cry.
It really
Networks.
is life-changing. What are you waiting for? Join Mark Patrick Hypnosis and leave the
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walk up to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth that's real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I've ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot. It's the Frontier Restaurant.
Trying something new can be hard, but in life and
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
From the Sandia foothills to the banks of the Rio Grande, generations of families remain. For 5 generations, Gala Chevrolet has handed down values written in stone, leading the way under sun-filled skies, past the vintage glow of Route 66. Built by generations past, built for generations to come. This is New Mexico. This is Gallus.
Download the Prize Picks app today. Use code KNML to get $50.
Albuquerque's leader in sports is ProView. From pros to prep. All your favorite action. All your favorite talk shows. Find it on ProView Networks. Eagle Greens and Turf are a family-owned and operated business with over 25 years of experience in the home improvement industry. They are your exclusive dealer of celebrity green, synthetic putting greens, and artificial turf. They also have artificial turf that is specifically designed for your pets.
11:30 today, pregame, noon tip. New Mexico ladies against San Diego State in America's finest city, in front of 7,000 screaming school children at Viejas Arena, and the San Diegans will be out. What's the weather like? It's got to be nice over there, huh?
Super beautiful morning.
Right?
In the 60s today. You know, great time to get out, walk around.
Get a surf
enjoy
report
the
from
city.
Ralph. Get up to go see Ralph in North County and get a surf report.
I was thinking, I'm like, if I called in and didn't do the show this morning, would anyone really notice?
No, hey, brah, just go out and get a little, catch the early waves, brah. Get out to Trestles or something. I mean, I got my guys who can get you out and get you a spot. They probably got an extra board for you, maybe even a wetsuit.
Yeah, brah.
I got
like I've been down.
I know, brah. All right, I want to hit what Kenny just said and get your thoughts on it. So he wants Antonio Chol to contribute more, and Antonio Chol, who last night had right at his average. He averages 9 points and 6 rebounds. He had 9 points and 6 rebounds last night. He averaged 9.8 and 3.2 going in. So that's kind of right where he is. He's second on the team with 33 three-pointers going into last night. That's right where he is. I don't know. I think there's going to be games, and I know I told you this early in the year. I believe his evolution was going to be the difference, and I'm not certain that we've timed out on that. I think there's still time where he's going to become the dude. I remember talking to him about a month ago and asked him if he's figuring out his role. He said, no, I know my role. And he seemed very comfortable with his role. Kenny says he wants to see 9 rebounds a game and 12, 14 points a game. You're getting right now about 3.5 rebounds and 9 points a game. I think he'll be there when you need him. I think he's defending the perimeter. He's long. He can shoot the ball. Maybe you expected more coming in because you didn't expect as much out of some other guys. Does that make sense? Like, I don't think anybody expected your leading scorer to be Jake Hall, right? There's no way when this thing. I don't think even Eric Olin or Jake Hall did. That when you said we're going to be 17 games into the season and Jake Hall is going to be your leading scorer at almost 15 points a game, and you're going to be 14 and 3, right?
Not at all. That's the biggest surprise to me is the efficiency numbers for Jake Hall.
Okay, so I think there was a lot of expected of Antonio Chol, and that's where Kenny's leaning. I mean, would you like to see him continue to get better? Sure, and I think he will. Is it necessary? Oh man, they're 14 and 3 and they're rolling right now. I think there's going to be games where you're gonna have an Antonio Chol game. I do believe that. And yeah, do I want to see his numbers go up? I want to see everybody's numbers go up. But I'm okay with the way that young man's playing.
Yeah, then that's the challenge, right? If his numbers go up, someone else's numbers go down.
That's correct.
And I think for Antonio Chol, he's the get off the bus guy. We see him, and we just expected him to lead this team and score 20 points per game, and that's not the case. And it's the evolution of the freshman. It's the style of play that Eric Olin is not just looking at, hey, Antonio Chol, we're going to run everything for you, or you go play one-on-one. I don't think we're going to see more from Chol. He'll have a game in which maybe he hits 4 3-pointers and he has 15, 16 points, something along those lines. But I think UNM is fine with his play defensively. Well, when he chips in on the boards, his shooting where he's getting the basketball. But I don't think we're going to see a dramatic change because, as you said, they're 14-3, and the last thing you want to do is say, "Oh, this guy needs more," and then it takes you out of the flow of the offense, and then
if it happens
start doing
organically,
stuff that you're not comfortable.
Yeah, if it happens organically, I think you're fine with it. He's leading you in minutes last night. Him and Hall, they played within 6 seconds of each other, 29.5 minutes each, basically. He's given you double digits in 8 out of your 17 games. He scored 9 last night, 1 short of double digits. I'm fine with what he's giving. To me, this is JJ. I want to look back at some of these teams, and I look at last year's teams, and you say, okay, there were 2 guys who really were the key to the team, right? And it's usually your point guard and your big guy, or your scorer in the backcourt, the big guy. Whether it's whoever the rotating big guys have been over the last bunch of years with Richard Pitino. I look at this group, and this is, and I hate the cliche on it, but this is kind of the quintessential team. No?
It is. You have the kind of 3 guards you lean on for scoring, Tenet, Hall, and Albury. Bullion, when he's feeling good, can score. But again, we've seen in the last couple of weeks the back and forth where JT Rock can fill that role where you're not just dependent on one player at the 5. Kind of like Nelly Jr. Joseph was last season for this team in the post. And again, it's the roles, because they understand the style of play, offensively and defensively, what Coach Olin and his staff want the Lobos to look like. That's allowed everyone to settle in, and I think that's why all of a sudden, whether it's the second half offense, where they've shot over 50% in the last 4 games, what they've looked like over the last few weeks, it's just because you have to play together. It takes time to figure out what you want to do, and things affect each other. Once you understand the defense and you're getting stops so you can play in transition, your offense can flow a little bit better when you have players understanding what it's like playing with someone else, whether it's Dayton Albury just not looking to draw a foul the entire time, or he's finishing inside. He knows, we run our core offense, and this is where X, Y, and Z are going to be. This is where I'm going to get them the basketball. That's what we're seeing, and part of this is just Chol playing his role. And again, I think, he's tantalizing because you see him. He gets off the bus. You're like, that's got to be your best player. Well, he's good, but he's not the focal point of this team offensively.
Yeah, and I don't know if he's your best player or not. But to your point, he's not the focal point of what they do offensively. I don't know who's the best player on this team. If someone said, well, who's their best player? Who's the best player on this team? Right?
I don't know if I could say it right off the bat. Like who?
Yeah. I was
be their best player.
Trying to compare this team to last year's team, and some guys, Nelly Jr. Joseph, would jump off the page, or whomever it happens to be from last year, right? And if you put these 2 teams on the court, and you literally could do that because they're 100% different players now, you could play them against last year's team. I think you would say, well, man, last year's team's got – who's the leading scorer last year? Was it Nelly and
it was – I think this what the Lobos, what Eric Olin wants to do is this is his team. It's because you say, all right, you'd say, all right, maybe Jake Hall is your best scorer. Your best creator could be Dayton Albury. Because the post play, Bullion rebounding is awesome, but you're not necessarily playing through him constantly inside. And I think that's kind of what Eric Olin wanted. Was when you look at his team, there's not necessarily, you take away this, you're going to be stopped.
All right, I got one for you before you get out of here. I know you got to get out to the arena. This is on the text line. John says, good morning, fellas. Just a question for you both. With the NFL playoffs and Super Bowl quickly approaching, do you both have a team that you really like to win it all? So I know that's totally changing gears on this. JJ, by the way, the weather's going to be 45 and sunny on Saturday afternoon in Denver, so weather will not be a factor. I know it's a cold weather game theoretically, but the Bills and Broncos playing there. Do you are you on anybody right now? Do you have is it Broncos? Is it Patriots? Who do you like in the AFC?
Like personally like, or just
no? If
like,
I know who you like.
Yeah.
Who do you think? Like, if you were going to say, all right, there's 8 teams left, who's the Super Bowl?
I think it's going to be, Seattle. And I think if the Bills win, I think if the Bills beat the Broncos, they'll represent the AFC.
So TJ asked me this. It was on TJ Trout show over on News Radio KKOB about 2 weeks ago. I'm going to stay with where I am, and I don't feel as good about it, but I said Rams and Bills. I just there's a feel about the Bills team to me, and I know that they're going to play the Broncos, and everything tells me the Broncos should win this week. The Broncos have a better defense. The Broncos are at home. The Broncos had the bye. The Broncos are healthier, and everything tells me the Broncos should win, except for a couple of things. And one of them is this progression you and I always talk about, right? And I guess the Broncos made the playoffs last year, so for them to go to the next round, which would be this round, actually. They just didn't have to win last week to get to this round. But there's something that tells me the Bills are on a little bit of a mission. And the Rams getting by last week, I do like the fact that they get the Bears instead of Seattle this week. And I don't love their matchup if they get through the Bears. I don't care who they play. I don't care if it's the Niners. As beat up as the Niners are, the Niners have this thing with the Rams. And Seattle's terrific right now. But I got to stay. I'm going to stay with where I was 2 weeks ago on Bills and Rams, although I'm wavering. I don't feel nearly as good about it.
Well, it's, in moments. And you trust Matthew Stafford in big moments. They can find a way to get there. And I'm really fascinated because this is set up for Seattle. Like, you control that game. Don't give any free possessions early to San Francisco. You have the ability to make big plays with Jackson Smith and Jigba, Sam Darnold. I think if he gets that first playoff win under his belt, whoever they play in the NFC Championship game, they're going to be the favorites. And it's set up for them. They play clean football. They could be in the Super Bowl.
I agree with that. All right, JJ will have the call. It's the Lobos and Aztecs from Viejas Arena in San Diego on the campus of San Diego State University. They call it the Montezuma Mesa. Have a great call. 9:30. It's almost 9:30. It's 11:30 pregame. So he's got to get out there 3 hours before. He's leaving us now. I'll see you tomorrow back in studio. Have a great call. We'll be listening.
Well, we are, an hour behind you.
That's right.
So.
Yeah. So it's only 12 there?
We'll, gather up another. Hey, Lobos road underdogs like they were last week at Colorado State, playing a better team today in the Aztecs, who undefeated along with UNLV and Mountain West play, and see if they can do it again.
All right. Great call. We'll be listening to that. We'll see you tomorrow. Coming up at 9:30, we'll hear some of what Eric Olin had to say in the postgame after the Lobos' victory last night. When we get back, I got some NFL stuff for you. You're asking questions about it. I'll get through your emails and your texts as well. It's the opening drive. Jeff Symbieta, J.J. Buck, Gato Roberto on 95.9 FM and AM 610. The Sports Animal.
NFL coverage all season long on 95.9.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Hyenas Comedy Nightclub.
Turbo Threads is a proud sponsor of ProView Networks.
Almost 30 years of experience means fast service, great prices, and a wide selection of apparel from t-shirts to performance sports shirts, even jackets and hats. They feature low minimums and no setup charges on most orders. Turbo Threads is located at 1503 Golf Course Road in Rio Rancho, or
they fold up the court. Sensi Steven feeds Decker. Decker feeds the baskets. Up for the tie. He's got it. Dylan Lansing, 29 points.
Livingston Volcano to one shot, but then now the defense is picking up, and watch out. Showtime.
Boom! Goes David Lund. or two, I believe, at the end. But it was a packed gym that night to watch these Rams.
On a lob upstairs, it's showtime early. It's Bynum to Richardson. It.
Double out to Brent. Wow! For three! Rips the cords! Sachivi! 11-12 games on their schedule. Not the Rams. Ahead of the pack to Moomin. Omer with a two-hand hammer!
That got the fans going right now.
He's got Lund behind him, though, and David Lund steals it right back away. He's got Canonsburg in front of him, and David Lund with the hammer.
Here it is.
Gotta get it up for the lead. He's buried it! Christopher Justice from the Rams Athletic Center logo. Through it. Marcos Chavez back into it and loses that ball. DJ Branzer tried to pass it. Oh, some Globetrotter stuff right there.
And let him go.
Here we go. Richardson working downhill. Drives, gathers, scores! Oh, what a big time bucket! Lund, it'll count if it goes. It's no good. And the Rio Rancho Rams win it on a Caden Richardson layup.
We're 8-0. We're only 8 games in, and this team's gonna get better. That's the fun part.
Strength and vaporized sore throat pain. High school sports are back. You can watch every ProView Network broadcast online on the NFHS Network. Every moment from every game from every sport, including all NMAA state championship games. Get your monthly pass now. Just go to ProViewNetworks.com, click on the NFHS logo, and sign up today. Watch New Mexico's best.
Where have you been my whole life?
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
And try to act normal.
Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, red and green chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Sweet Rolls. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenprideabq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
From the Sandia foothills to the banks of the Rio Grande, generations of families remain. For 5 generations, Gala Chevrolet has handed down values written in stone, leading the way under sun-filled skies. Past the vintage glow of Route 66, built by generations past, built for generations to come. This is New Mexico.
A little bit, maybe feeling tired, gaining some weight, losing muscle, or struggling to focus. Just don't feel like you. It could be signs of low testosterone or hormone imbalance, and I've got some help for you locally, my friends over at Vita Vital Medical. They are Albuquerque's experts specializing in testosterone replacement therapy, ED solutions, and peptide therapy. That will help you restore your strength, your energy, your confidence, and your performance on and off the field. They're local. They're right here in Albuquerque, and they know what works. They've watched it. They've seen it. They do it every day. They will help you get back in the game with a program that's focused on you. Listen, this is how this is going to work. They take the time to understand your goals. So you schedule an appointment, and you sit down with a specialist in this, and there isn't some cookie-cutter thing. They talk to you about what's going on with you, with your body. What are you feeling? How are you feeling? How long has it been? What are your goals? What do you want? And they create a plan that is tailored to you. Don't sit on the sidelines. Take your action today and feel better now. The number is 505-240-8559. 505-240-8559. They're online at VitaVitalMedical.com. That's V-I-D as in David A, B-I-T as in Thomas, A-L. BetaVitalMedical.com. Get back to being the man you know you are. Feel alive again with Beta Vital Medical, Albuquerque's hormone health experts. Opening drive, Jeff Simbiera and Gato Roberto on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the sports animal. JJ's now off to Viejas Arena. You know what he's doing? He's just enjoying the beautiful San Diego morning.
Yeah, it's a rough job, but somebody's got to do it.
I mean, you're sitting in America's finest city. You're going to be mid-60s, probably close to 70 because it's always 72 and perfect there.
Yeah. That's why they call themselves the perfect city, isn't it?
America's finest city.
America's finest. Okay.
That's
I always thought Albuquerque was.
That's what Albuquerque's the Duke city.
Well, yeah. Anyway.
LA is the city of angels.
Supposedly.
San Francisco's the city by the bay.
Well, that's what everybody. Yeah,
New York's the Big Apple.
Yeah.
Chicago's the Windy City.
I've got other names for some of these cities, but I can't say them on air.
What's San Diego to you?
San Diego?
Yeah.
I've never. No, actually, I was there once.
America's finest cities.
All I remember is 2 days waiting for the car's carpeting to be replaced because somebody spilled orange juice all over it while we were going through the desert.
Who did that?
Might have been me.
So orange juice, and you had to wait 2 days for spilled orange juice to get the car clean?
It fermented.
I don't understand.
Well, this is back 1965.
Did orange juice ferment quicker back then?
No, but it spilled just as we entered the desert area, and the air conditioning wasn't all that good.
Yeah.
By the time we got to San Diego, it had started to ferment.
All right.
So my mother decided to have the carpeting replaced.
In the vehicle?
Yeah, in the vehicle.
All right. So you got to San Diego and found a car carpet replacement shop?
Well, yeah.
I mean, they specialize in car carpet replacement. Of course, they're everywhere.
Well, any car repair, not repair, but body shop can do it.
Sure.
So
they pulled the mats out and
pulled the
took
seats.
2 days. What?
Well, they had to pull the seats and they had to find the carpeting that she wanted.
Oh.
My mother was
You
God
screwed
bless
up the
her
whole
soul.
trip.
No, because I got to go to San Diego Zoo.
But it was 2 days waiting for the carpeting.
Well, I didn't mind. I mean, I was 14 at the time. I didn't care.
Well, you just played on your phone all day and just played video games
We
on
did.
your phone?
No, I'm ancient.
1965? I'm kidding.
I don't. No, we did have the original Pong set.
Everybody's got their recollection of different places. What do you remember about San Diego? SeaWorld and the beach, and it was fun and beautiful women. I remember the orange juice fermenting in the carpet.
Well, that's because I got to go to San Diego Zoo.
Look.
The San Diego stop was not really planned for more than overnight.
Where were you headed?
San Francisco.
Where did you start?
In Denver.
How the hell do you go Denver to San Francisco through San Diego?
Ask my mother. I think we went through Phoenix first because she had friends.
Again, I'm going to San Francisco from Denver. I'm not going to Phoenix to San Diego. Right.
This is before.
It explains a lot, to me, Bob. It explains a whole lot.
This is also before the interstate system was completed. I think we actually went on.
So the only way to go from Denver to San Francisco was through Phoenix to San Diego.
Probably wasn't the only way.
I promise you.
But that's the way my mother went.
God bless you.
Yes, God bless my mother.
I got one on you.
Okay.
This is from Lynn. It said yesterday, buffed Bobcat. Yesterday, Bobcat took off his shirt and showed off his guns. It must be sweet. You were over there in just your T-shirt, and letting it all hang out yesterday on TV.
Yes, I was.
Yes, I appreciated that. All right, wow. Bob, my trip to San Diego via through San Francisco via San Diego and Denver, and SeaWorld and fermented orange.
Yeah.
No orange juice for you. That's what I learned. That was the moral of the story for me. No orange juice for you.
And I don't like orange juice. I like grape juice.
I really don't blame you. Omar says, can we talk about the Dallas Cowboys? Sure, Omar. The talking heads are screaming Tomlin is going to take a year off and become a special advisor to Jerry Jones. There's no way, right? No way? I wouldn't say there's no way to anything at this point. I do believe that Mike Tomlin is taking the year off. There's a number of reasons why I believe that. First of all, Mike Tomlin is still under contract for 2 more years with the Pittsburgh Steelers. So he can't just take any job. There would have to be compensation. Very much like when Sean Payton took the Broncos job and the Broncos had to compensate New Orleans, who still had the rights to Sean Payton. Secondly, Mike Tomlin has said through Adam Schefter, and Schefter's never wrong, that he wants to take some time off. I think he can make a boatload of money doing television somewhere, because every network, and now Netflix is in the game, and Peacock and Prime, and everybody is in, and he is a personality, and he wins the microphone in the press conference all the time. He could probably make north of $20 million this year, not losing a game and just doing TV once a week and having a blast with it, whether he's going to be a studio analyst or a game analyst. And third, I don't know that there's a job that he wants right now that he's going to jump right back into and do. I think he's primed to take a year off, and you know what? If he never gets back in, it will not stun me either. I think he's a great coach, and he can get back in, but how many years did the last Steeler coach sit on the studio set of CBS, and every year you said, and I said, and we all thought, oh, that's the job that Cowher's going to take. He's going to get back in. He never did. You know why? Because A, he was pretty good at what he does, TV, and B, it's a lot less pressure, and you can still make a chunk of money. So I don't think Tom is coaching this year at all. I'd be surprised if he does. Richard says JJ's Pumpkins equals JJ's Nuggets. Jeff, remember a few years ago when the Nuggets had the belts and all the experts wanted to talk about was LeBum and the Lakers and Steph, etc. This weekend, the Broncos are the number one seed, but all I'm hearing about is Josh Allen and how great the Bills are. That's a fair comparison. That's actually really good, Richard. Yeah. Yeah. When the Nuggets were the one seed, but they were playing the Lakers, and it was all about LeBron and AD, and then they swept them. Very, very similar to what's going on now. Partially is because the country doesn't pay attention to what goes on in Denver, even if they are the number one seed. The Bills are sexier. The Bills have been around for a minute. The Bills do have what I believe, or who I believe, is the best player in the NFL, and that's Josh Allen. So, yeah, that's actually really analogous. I don't disagree. AC says, good morning, Jeff. Can you explain why there was a 10-second runoff due to the referee's error causing Jacksonville to use a timeout? I've seen the runoff for injury, etc., but not for reference. I can't explain it, actually. So when they go to a replay and the clock would have run, and they go to a replay and reverse a call, or don't reverse a call, when they have to go to the replay, the clock would have run off, they say 10 seconds. If it was a running, if the ball would have gone out of bounds on the previous play and stopped the clock, there would not have been a runoff. But in the situation in which you're referring, the clock would have continued to run if they didn't stop it for a replay. And so they run the 10 seconds off just like they would have on an injury or something like that. But that's exactly what happened. Ren couldn't find the game, so whatever. I'm sorry, Ren, that you couldn't find it. By the way, well, I'll read this because it makes no sense to me. Ren says, what game? Jeff, I got home from a long day at the office. Just wanted to crash on the couch, drink some cold water, and watch the game. Half an hour flipping through the channels and nothing. No game. So I pulled out my trusty old radio and turned dialed the mighty 50,000-watt blowtorch, big stick. Silence. I ended up watching the Greatest American Hero reruns instead. Were we not on KQOP last night? We absolutely were on the air last night, right?
Yes, but I think only on the FM side, 96.3.
Is that right?
Yeah.
We weren't on the AM last night?
I don't think so.
Why?
I am not sure.
Well, there's a lot of gremlins going. I know that our feed, like the FM feed on this radio station, is super soft. People, and we're working on getting that. I did not know that. Sorry, Ren. I mean, it was on the MW.com. It was on KQOB. It was on the stream. It was on the Mountain West Network. I hope you enjoyed Greatest American Hero, though. Sounds like that was a pretty good night for you. James wants to talk about the Lobo women. Let's go way back to the closing minutes of your 2025 season finale show. Bradbury said the Lady Lobos were having problems with other clubs rating their starters, hence the need for NIL. The follow-up question that was never asked is how many of those girls are blowing your socks off at their new schools? How many are you going, wow, look at what she's doing. Sure wish we had kept her. I should have asked that question. I still don't know the answer. All right. I'll ask him next time. All right, when we come back, we'll hear from Eric Olin. A couple of things that he had to say on the post-game show after last night's 87-64 level men's victory over Grand Canyon. You can keep them coming. 505-246-0610. Emails Jeff at sportsanimalabq.com and JJ at sportsanimalabq.com. It's the opening drive. Jeff Zimbieta and Gato Roberto on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
You've made it through another year, and now it's time for a new year, new you.
We would like to
Whether
thank the
you've
following
resolved to get
sponsors
healthy,
for
start a
making
new
this
hobby, or
broadcast
travel more,
possible.
We want to help kickstart your resolution with $5,000.
High school sports are back. You can watch every ProView Network broadcast online on the NFHS Network. Every moment from every game from every sport, including all NMAA state championship games. Get your monthly pass now. Just go to ProViewNetworks.com, click on the NFHS logo, and sign up today. Watch New Mexico's best.
Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, red and green chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier sweet rolls. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenprideabq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
Let's take a picture.
From the Sandia foothills to the banks of the Rio Grande, generations of families remain. For 5 generations, Gallus Chevrolet has handed down values written in stone, leading the way under sun-filled skies, past the vintage glow of Route 66, built by generations past, built for generations to come. This is New Mexico. This is Gallus.
I'm a Blaze King customer, and I have been for the last 10 years. Blaze King stoves are very efficient, they're easy to maintain, and they use a lot less wood than you would typically use with a fireplace.
Blaze King, that's a fire.
The heat is on when it's a Blaze King wood stove, controlling heat up to 40 hours on a single load of wood with a built-in thermostat. See for yourself at either Blaze King showroom, Albuquerque and Santa Fe. Blaze King, and now that's a fire.
ProView Networks would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. Hans Whitler Automotive, German car maintenance and repair in Albuquerque, New Mexico. Call 505-294-7684 or visit HansWhitlerAuto.com.
It always feels good to be right. With high-pressure playoff matchups every weekend and elite hoops almost every night, the action never stops. You've got the option to cash out those winnings before the game.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Burrito Express is proud to announce that we are the official burrito spot of ProView Networks. Since 1982, with 6 locations serving Albuquerque, Rio Rancho, and Roswell, the question is, red or green? Let's go to the burrito. Visit letsgototheburrito.com and order now.
Lunch and dinner classics and their famous green chili cheeseburger paired with delicious milk.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walking to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number 1. Cover it with green stuff, 1 scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spots. It's the Frontier Restaurant.
Well, there's a little football next season.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
We have to do a little wager. San Diego State's announced according to Brett McMurphy, a home game in football with James Madison. JMU needed a game after Virginia Tech canceled the Virginia Tech JMU game because the ACC is going to a 9th league game, so they had to get rid of one of their games. That's a great non-conference cross-region game next year. James Madison, who was in the playoff this year and played at Oregon, will play in San Diego against the Aztecs in 2026. I don't know what the date is, but I'm going to assume it's going to be somewhere in September. That'll be a Pac-12 versus Sun Belt game. Opening drive, Jeff Simbieta and Gato Roberto, 505-246-0610. This says, Bobcats' mom and my wife used the same travel agent. Going to a KU soccer game, she booked us to go through Minneapolis. What?
I'm glad my mother was not alone.
I just, what are we doing?
And remember, this was way before the interstate was completed.
There were no interstates in 1965?
I don't
think that's right.
There weren't any. I said it wasn't completed.
Okay. So the quickest way from Denver to San Francisco is go through Phoenix and San Diego.
I didn't say it was the quickest. She had friends in Phoenix that she wanted to visit.
And then she knew a carpet cleaning shop in San Diego to go get your carpet.
I don't know. That's
All right, let's hear some Eric Olin from last night. This will be post-game stuff. So a couple of sound bites that we're going to take out of the conversation that Philip and I had after the game with Lobo coach Eric Olin. These will be courtesy of the UNM Sports Radio Network. The first thing I asked him, I thought that the Lobos won last night in some respects doing things that they typically do. Defensively, they were really sound. 7th game in a row, but they kept their opponent under 70 points. And they did it with really balanced scoring. But a couple things they didn't do, or they normally don't do. First of all, Thomas Aboulian was in foul trouble, and they won with their big guy scoring 5 points and 4 rebounds. He collected 4 rebounds. But secondly, the three-point shot has been such a prevalent part of what they do offensively. And it's not odd to see more and significantly more than half of their shots from the field be three-point shots. Last night, only 16 of their 55 field goal attempts were three-point field goal attempts. They shot 50% from three-point land. So I asked Eric Olin if that was intentional or if that was something that they were playing on what was given to them by Grand Canyon.
I mean, it was more about like their coverages. You could kind of see it from the beginning. They play a lot of drop coverage with 17, who's got legitimate size. They bring 30, so they have a lot of size at the 5, and they play a lot of drop coverage. So we knew going in, and we talked to Jake and Uriah both. Like, we're not always hunting mid-range shots, but like this is a game where you're going to have to be aggressive from that place. And Jake got off to a good start. Uriah hit a couple. You could kind of see them understanding the assignment there. And I thought specifically Jake's mid-range shot making to start the game got us off to.
Jake Hall, 7 of 12 shooting, and Uriah Tenet, 4 of 8 from the field. And combined, the two of them only took 6 three-point shots. They made half of them. And so I firmly believe that the mid-range asset, the mid-range part of the game, is something that is lethal. And I watched Jamal Mashburn before you all turned on him, or I shouldn't. That's not fair. That a good portion of Lobo fan base turned on him when he stopped making those shots. But his second year here, Mash was maybe the best mid-range shooter in America. And it made him deadly, and it made the team really, really good. In the mid-range game, everything doesn't have to be a dunk or a three, although they're fun. And I talked to JT Rock about that, and I thought the conversation with him was really fun. You enjoy dunking a three more. But the mid-range game can be lethal. All right, next up, they're going to San Diego. They're playing a San Diego State team who will play tonight in Laramie. The Aztecs are one of 2 teams in conference play yet to lose, the other being Utah State. San Diego State has been the bully in this league. San Diego is the home of Jake Hall and Chris Howell and Luke Hopt. It's where Eric Olin coached while not at San Diego State at UC San Diego, but back in that town. And so there'll be a lot of fans there, a lot of family there. And so I asked him, as you're going in to play a really good team, is there a little more to this game coming up now that it's next on the schedule as you go to play at San Diego State on Saturday?
Yeah, you got to play well in this one. You can't skip steps. I know everybody's excited, not because it's San Diego, because it's a really good team who's in first place, and it's a great opportunity for us within the league, for our resume, for a number of reasons. So, I think our guys get excited every time they get a good opponent, every time they have, a move the needle type opportunity, and so we talked about it after. Like, it all starts for us with our preparation. Guys are doing an awesome job of understanding game plan, executing, being connected, and we'll certainly need to do that and play at a high level in order to get a result out there.
There's a really good focus with this club right now. And I think that comes from the the head chair, I'm trying to find the right word. I'm trying to find another word for not getting too high or too low, for a steady, very, very chill coach who obviously knows his X's and O's, obviously is a coach who is communicating but relating with this team. Because it feels like, and again, I'm not in the locker room, you're not in the locker room, but I'm watching a team that's getting better. It's 14-3, that's 5-1 in play. That is a very low drama team. I'm not sure what's going on with Kevin Patton Jr. He's been away from the team, it feels like, for over a month now. In fact, I know it's been for over a month. But other than that, it feels like it's a very low drama team that feels like they get along. It feels like they've accepted their roles. It feels like they're very flexible. It feels like they can win different ways. It feels like they can win with different dudes. You have a night where Milos Bicentic comes off and scores 19, and the last night he doesn't play at all. A night where JT Rock can come out and get you double digits or 4 blocks last night, and then the next night it'll be Tomislav Buljan, who's your big guy who does it. Where Tajavis Miller can come off the bench and get you double-digit points. It just feels like this team and this head coach has got them in a space where it's very comfortable. Now, comfortable can lead to content, and I don't believe that's the case here. I believe this team's hungry. They're getting better every single day, and they feel like they're focused as they head into every game. The next one's the next one. The next one's what we're focusing on. And I get that can be somewhat robotic, and it's not what you want to hear, but I think it is what you want to hear. I think you do want that focus. I think you do want that next game mentality. And whilst there's always an eye on the big picture, they're looking ahead to this next one, into this next one, into this next one. I think that's the right way to go. Jeffrey, good morning. You're on the Sports Channel. What's good?
Good morning, sir. How are you?
Life's grooving. How about you?
Good. Just driving back from Vegas, man, and thought I'd give you guys a call listening after the game last night. You know, I'm glad this is our team, because if I was an opponent or an opposing fan of this team, they would annoy the hell out of me. You know what I mean? I don't know why, but the team is pesky. They're usually, maybe not always, but they're kind of undersized, but they just, like Jake Hall, that head fake. I'm sure everybody on the opposing team or the opposing fan base is like, how you're not going to trick us with that head fake? And it's much like Larry Bird. Yeah, he tricks you and he makes the shot, and he's smaller and he runs around. And so, I'm glad we're on the same side, because that team. Yeah. Second of all, I think there's two things. They don't mind having a shootout with you, but I also think this team really likes to take the legs of their opponent, and you could see it last night, especially at elevation, obviously, where they're just trying to be like, okay, you may be bigger, but we're going to run you up and down the court, and come the second half, you're going to lose, half a step moving laterally, so you can't rotate to cover the three, or you can't collapse quick enough to cover the mid-range, or get down low quick enough to block out rocks. So I really think, obviously the team is improving every game, but I also think they're finding multiple ways to beat opponents that on paper might look like tougher matchups until you see the final score bunches last night. So it's really fun to watch. Glad they're our team, because they would annoy the hell out of me if I was an opponent fan base. Expect them to catch some hell in San Diego, and it'd be nothing better than to go down there and kick the crap out of the Aztecs. So let's hope that happens, man.
Yeah, man, I appreciate it. It's a great call. I think there's something to that, right? You look at them and they don't look intimidating. They don't, they're not the airport team, man. They don't get off the plane and you go, wow, that's really impressive. I looked at Grand Canyon last night in pregame, and I'm like, dang. I mean, that's an impressive-looking team. They are. I don't think that's what the Lobos are. I don't think that's what they need to be. What they are is 14-3 and 5-1, and I think getting better every single time out. All right, we'll wrap it when we get back. I got somebody's telling me how right Gato Roberto is about the highway and the interstate freeway system in 1965. I got that text for you. And we'll wrap you up. Still time for you when we get back at 505-246-0610 on the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
This is a Westwood One Sports Minute.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Offense that culminated with the loss on Sunday to the San Francisco 49ers. And while this was absolutely necessary,
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico's youth athletics.
You can be dramatic and petulant if you're winning.
IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
Across the state of New Mexico, different journeys will begin. And when their journeys unite, together will become one experience. Our campuses across New Mexico in Portales, Boswell, and Ruidoso come together to provide you the support as one family. We are one family that share one goal, one opportunity at a time. We are one Eastern.
Second ring to solidify his standing as a future Hall of Famer. Whatever happens to come next, if we've learned anything during this wild
We would like to
season,
thank
it
the
is
following
to expect
sponsors
the
for making this
unexpected.
broadcast
So buckle up.
possible.
I'm Brian Weber.
From the Sandia foothills to the banks of the Rio Grande, generations of families remain. For 5 generations, Gallus Chevrolet has handed down values written in stone, leading the way under sun-filled skies, past the vintage glow of Route 66. Built by generations past, built for generations to come. This is New Mexico. This is Gallus.
We've been trained, conditioned, and rewarded for doing more. But people weren't designed for all that doing. Our bodies need to settle into nothing from time to time. Into nothing at all. In a world obsessed with doing more, we invite you to undo.
I'm a Blaze King customer, and I have been for the last 10 years. Blaze King stoves are very efficient, they're easy to maintain, and they use a lot less wood than you would typically use with a fireplace.
Blaze King, that's a fire.
The heat is on when it's a Blaze King wood stove, controlling heat up to 40 hours on a single load of wood with a built-in thermostat. See for yourself at either Blaze King showroom, Albuquerque and Santa Fe. Blaze King, and now that's a fire.
High school sports are back. You can watch every ProView Network broadcast online on the NFHS network. Every moment from every game from every sport, including all NMAA state championship games. Get your monthly pass now. Just go to ProViewNetworks.com, click on the NFHS logo, and sign up today. Watch New Mexico's best.
11 a.m. Sign up at
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
We've been trained, conditioned, and rewarded for doing more. But people weren't designed for all that doing. Our bodies need to settle into nothing from time to time. Into nothing at all. In a world obsessed with doing more, we invite you to undo.
Kohl's new clearance markdowns are intense.
Across the state of New Mexico, different journeys will begin. And when their journeys unite, together will become one experience. Our campuses across New Mexico in Portales, Boswell, and Ruidoso come together to provide you the support as one family. We are one family that share one goal, one opportunity at a time. We are one Eastern.
Burrito Express is proud to announce that we are the official burrito spot of ProView Networks. Since 1982, with 6 locations serving Albuquerque, Rio Rancho, and Roswell, the question is, red or green? Let's go to the burrito. Visit letsgototheburrito.com and order now.
Every stride
every member on America's best network. Switch to T-Mobile.
We would like to
Streaming
thank the
Plus
following
Wi-Fi
sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
$30 a line.
Eagle Greens and Turf are a family-owned and operated business with over 25 years of experience in the home improvement industry. They are your exclusive dealer of celebrity green, synthetic putting greens, and artificial turf. They also have artificial turf that is specifically designed for your fence. Eagle Greens and Turf are proud sponsors of ProView Networks and can make your lawn green all year long at 505-273-2740.
That's right. Was this song around in 1965 when you made that trip?
No.
No? Just after that? All right, Lobos are going on the road. Ladies are on the road. They're in San Diego. They'll be on the air tonight. Noon tip, AJ 11 12, Viejas, Lobos, Aztecs. Lobo men went off the win last night against Frank. We'll also be in America. That'll play Saturday for our news radio KKOB as New Mexico plays San Diego State. The Aztecs are undefeated in league play. They play tonight in Laramie. San Diego State's 11-4, 5-0 in conference play. The Cowboys 11-5, 2-3. Aztecs just a 1.5 favorite tonight. Utah State also unbeaten in league play is a 13.5 point favorite tonight at home. They play Steve Alford and the Noodles in Nevada. Last night in the Mountain West, Fresno State beat Colorado State 79-69. San Jose State 70-62 over Air Force. First conference win for the Spartans. And UNLV in overtime beats Boise State 89-85. It's the fourth straight league loss for the Broncos. First time that has happened since 2019. And, of course, the Lobos are winners 87-64 in the pit against Grand Canyon. Opening drive, Jeff Symbieta and Bobcat. So Bob just told you a story about some crazy-ass trip back in 1965, going with his family from Denver to San Francisco through Phoenix to San Diego and orange juice. And the text line says, I think it was Terry, Bobcat's mom and my wife. Oh, I gave you that one.
Yeah.
There's one on the email. Bourne says, another gem from Bobcat. Jeff, every time he opens his mouth, a gold nugget pops out. When we went on vacation, we had 270 air conditioning, 2 windows down at 70 miles an hour.
No, we actually did have air conditioning in the car, and it worked so well. My sisters in the back seat were all bundled up in blankets.
Really?
Going through the desert.
That's good AC.
Yeah, that was.
Didn't
stop for the fermentation of the orange juice.
Obviously not. No, that was a 2-day hiatus.
Yeah.
Bob, this is text line. Bob is right about the highway, interstate / freeway system in 1965. My dad tells a funny story of traveling in 1965 from New York to Los Angeles on Route 66 and having to stay in a jail / hotel in Cubero, New Mexico, just outside of Grants because of expired license plate tag.
Oh.
I'll tell you the story. Can't wait to hear this.
Yeah. And just a little nugget, because I did a little research.
Yeah.
The interstate was not officially completed until 1992.
Which interstate?
The interstate system.
The whole interstate.
The whole interstate.
So it's now complete? We're
it was
adding
not
to it?
completed until 1992, with the final stretch being Glenwood Canyon up in Colorado.
Really?
Yeah.
So the interstate system is now complete. We don't
Yeah, it is
do anything.
now.
So there's no additions, nothing more. We're going to do the interstate. It's now considered complete. We're done with it.
Except now we got to rebuild it because of the maintenance.
So we're not adding any more interstates.
No, not planned that I'm aware.
What
of.
if? Like,
well, we have congressmen that need to have projects in their districts. They might propose a new spur, so to speak.
David sent me this one. Back to the hoops. It says the Lobos have been steadily improving since they lost down in Cruces to that Quad 3 team 2 months ago, and will continue to do so, in my opinion. But
always a but.
A quote from Harvey Keitel in Pulp Fiction comes to mind when thinking about how good they are at the moment. They're 5-1 against mostly bottom of the league teams. Saturday at Viejas will tell us a lot about how much they've improved and where they currently are compared to the better teams in the league. They've been fun to watch lately. Go Lobos. Look, you're right. And therein lies don't. And this is where calm yourself. Enjoy what you've been doing. But you're right. San Jose State's won once. This is who you've beaten in the league. San Jose State's won once. Boise State has won once. Wyoming's won twice. Colorado State's won twice. Air Force has won twice. And Grand Canyon's won twice. I'm sorry, thrice. Grand Canyon's the best team you've beaten in league play. They are 3-2 in league play. So you're right, because the next week and a half and the back end of the schedule is going to tell you a lot. And David, that's totally fair. You got to go to San Diego this week. You come home for Fresno State next week, and then here come Alfred and Noodles, and that team's pretty good. Then you got to go to UNLV. You got to go to San Jose, and then a homestand for Utah State, Boise State, and go to Grand Canyon. So, yeah, man. But that's league play. It will get tough on the back end. The back of the last 4 games, at Nevada, home for the Aztecs, home for Colorado State, and at Utah State, yeah, it's going to be a rough finish. But keep stacking them now, man. Stack them when you're supposed to, if that makes sense. Like, if you are who you think you are, then you're supposed to beat Colorado State, although that one's a surprise. I mean, Boise State, the only team they've beaten in the league is you. That was a weird one, right? Good stuff today. Really good stuff today. The Herd with Colin Cowherd is next.
2 points.
Lobo basketball ladies will intercede that at 11:30.
6 points for you.
That was 3 of them. I hit 3 of them.
Yeah.
And I think they're 3-pointers. I think it's 9.
Oh, okay.
JJ takes the mic from BA House at 11:30. Lobo Live. Unfiltered with Kenny Thomas comes in at 4. We're back with award-winning radio tomorrow morning at 7 a.m. Adrian, great work on the TV side. Bob, thanks for being here the last 2 mornings. Really enjoy having you here. Thanks for getting up and doing a great job.
Sure, anytime.
He is Gato Roberto. I am Jeff Simbiera. Have a great, safe day, boys and girls. Be good to each other, please. Be kind, loving, caring, and sharing. We will smell you tomorrow.
At Straight Talk, we get it. You say no a lot.
Mom, can I get a tarantula?
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Yes, like a free 5G phone with real...
Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, red and green chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier sweet rolls. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenprideabq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
From the Sandia foothills to the banks of the Rio Grande, generations of families remain. For 5 generations, Gallus Chevrolet has handed down values written in stone, leading the way under sun-filled skies. Past the vintage glow of Route 66. Built by generations past. Built for generations to come. This is New Mexico. This is Gallus.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com. TurboThreads is a proud sponsor of ProView Networks.
Almost 30 years of experience means fast service, great prices, and a wide selection of apparel from t-shirts to performance sports shirts, even jackets and hats. They feature low minimums and no setup charges on most orders. TurboThreads is located at 1503 Golf Course Road in Rio Rancho, or find them on Facebook, online at turbothreads.com, or call 999-1234 for TurboThreads.
We've been trained, conditioned, and rewarded for doing more.
High school sports are back. You can watch every ProView Network broadcast online on the NFHS Network. Every moment from every game from every sport, including all NMAA state championship games. Get your monthly pass now. Just go to ProViewNetworks.com, click on the NFHS logo, and sign up today. Watch New Mexico's best.
Albuquerque's leader in sports is ProView.